Welcome to the bracket episode 123. Today we have a real bizarro crew. No Nick or KB or Shay today. Really like a lot of weird shit going on in the office today. No Tommy Smokes. He's too busy with the Montana boys. He's been really just all out of sorts about
unbearable today, really.
Unbearable.
This might be the worst Tommy Smokes day ever.
Yeah. Either a whole office reeks of cigarettes because
Yes.
he's trying to smoke to look extremely cool, and he's just smoked like 18 cigarettes inside the office. So it's been a fun
Did it
day.
look cool?
Yeah, did he look cool?
Probably did.
No,
Nah,
not at all.
really.
He doesn't look. He looks horrible.
It's
How many did you think he
horrible.
would have to smoke before it started looking cool? Because I feel like he can get there once it feels more natural, like an extension of his
So
body.
he's wearing
Yeah.
a pink cowboy hat while he's doing it, which hurts.
Yeah,
with,
that's tough.
With cut off jeans that Kenjac cut for him.
Yeah, cut off like right in mid thigh. So it was a tough look to try and
Okay.
make look cool. But today we're doing the best sitcom bracket of the best sitcom. We're not doing anything animated today. Just as a note, if you're looking for like Simpsons or Family Guy, or whatever, no animated. That could be a whole separate thing. Only live action. We have a good eclectic mix of ages here too. I think for the most part, a lot of like Glenny's. You're probably the youngest here. I think you are probably the oldest here.
I am,
But
yeah.
we have a nice mix of everything in between. And then obviously we have Mintzy in here too. First time on the bracket, as far as I'm aware of.
Hell yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be
Yeah.
here. I got like a lot of the 90s, 80s sitcoms from my childhood, so I'll be kicking it old school here a little bit.
All right, Mintzy, we're gonna hold strong there.
That's great. Klemmer was so pissed when I first told him the concept because he's like, you're going to have all these old ones. No one's going to know what they are. No one's going to pick them. No one's going to vote for them. But I think we have a good mix here today. But before we get to those, let's talk about game time. Look, you could get tickets to any Yankees or Cubs or White Sox or let's see, what's Mintzy's got going on right now? What sports teams do you like that are
Man,
up right
I wish
now?
I wish I was in the blender for Lakers Pels playing tonight for damn sure in New Orleans.
The Pelicans game, you get them for a
Yep.
Mets game, you get them for Rangers, best team in hockey right now.
The best team in hockey game. Season's over for us. 82 games. President's Trophy winners. We got some playoffs coming up. And
New York
hopefully
sports.
Game time will get us there. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, New York sports having an actual kind of moment
Mets
right
won
now.
8
Kinda
of the
cool.
last 11.
Yeah, I mean, after that start too, seriously.
Feels like
Yankees
94.
are red hot. Yankees are fantastic.
Hey,
Beast.
shout the Knicks out. This feels like 94,
I mean, yeah,
brother.
Knicks are.
Knicks are really good.
Two
Number
seed,
seed.
right?
Yeah.
First time, since, well, not first time, but 1994, New York Rangers, number 1 seed. President's Trophy winners. Knicks, 2 seed. Both went to the finals.
We're going full retro.
Yeah.
OJ's in the news.
OJ's back in the news. Same year as OJ in the news.
It's 94 over
That's
again.
right. And you get all those for super cheap with Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You shouldn't have to worry about when you buy tickets for your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. They got flash deals for sudden discounts, zone deals for when you're feeling flexible, and their lowest price guarantee, which means that if you could find the same seats for anywhere for less, Game Time will credit you for 110% of the difference. Game Time is the best place for last-minute seats with up to 60% off your favorite events. So what are you waiting for? I think I'm gonna do Yankee game. I haven't done a Yankee game yet this year, and they're like Klemmer was saying, red hot, actually fun to watch. So I'll go watch them. Good. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code bracket for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. All right, this was legitimately, I think, the hardest bracket I've ever had to seed in my entire life because it is so subjective. It's very difficult to keep honest because there's some shows where I'm like, this is empirically better than this show, but it's on a different network that no one was watching. So it's very tough to seed. I did it as objectively as I humanly could. So forgive me if your favorite show isn't the number 1 seed. So the first matchup is number 5 seed versus the number 12 seed. The number 5 seed is Friends, which I know, Glenny, for a fact, I know you're a huge fan. Are there any other big Friends fans here?
I had Sisters. It was on in the background, but no, I can't say.
I mean, it was a gigantic show.
It was
Just
huge when I was coming up, but I always liked Friends, but loved Seinfeld when they were back to back.
Same.
It's kind of my thing.
Yeah, I think that's probably the big prevailing kind of thought here, right?
It is wild, like Mintzy was saying. Like on the same night, you had Friends, Seinfeld, and ER. And don't forget, Friends and ER debuted the same day.
Jesus.
Like imagine that for NBC. That's crazy.
NBC does have the lion's share of all of these, by the way. It's crazy. And that's going up against the number 12 seed. Another one where it's such a good sitcom, but I had to seed it lower than I would have wanted to, which is Arrested Development. Arrested Development is so goddamn funny. Hysterical, but it's only got 4 seasons, and then the 5th with Netflix, and not a ton of people watched it when it first came out, but it is just so fucking funny. So Friends versus Arrested Development. Start with you, Glenny Balls.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously going to go Friends here. I'm a massive Friends fan. Basically, was my childhood. I believe the finale premiered in May 6, 2004. That was the first episode I ever watched. And since then, that was my childhood. I just watched Friends.
That was the first episode you ever watched. Was the
I
finale?
was 8 years old. I was watching my mom. I remember I thought it was so fucking funny watching Chandler shake all the foosball players' hands. Good game when they had to break the foosball table. And that's literally, I watched Friends my whole childhood. So sure, I've watched Friends more than Entourage. I've watched Friends constantly. So, Friends is my favorite show. I know it's gonna get killed here. I know Friends. A lot of dudes think Friends is like girly now. I know I'm just gonna get killed, but Friends is my pick. Obviously,
Do you never watch Arrested Development?
I never have. But either way, Friends is my pick.
I think you'd like it.
But yeah, dude, all you guys, everyone gives Friends this like girly aura around it.
I don't think
Friends
it's
is
got
great.
a girly.
Like Joey and Chandler's all-time classic bro stuff. I love Friends, but it's gonna get killed. I know.
Klemmer?
Friends is fine. Like it's hard. Like growing up, like Mintzy was saying, like you always compared it to Seinfeld. Unfortunately, which is really tough because Seinfeld, in my opinion, the greatest sitcom ever. Like so, it's hard to compare those two. I laughed more in one season of Arrested Development than I've ever laughed in Friends. Like Arrested Development's so great. I will say the last season, the Netflix season, is one of the worst. I mean, that's a war crime. The last season of Arrested Development, like in Netflix, that it almost ruins the show for me. But I rewatched seasons 1 through 3, and they hold up. They're fantastic. Arrested Development's one of the funniest, smartest shows ever.
Chief?
So I haven't seen Arrested Development. Is that still streaming somewhere?
When it came out, the new season came out on Netflix. I think they had it all in there. I don't know if it's there anymore.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I think I have to go Friends by default just because I haven't seen Arrested Development.
That's totally fair. Mintzy?
So I liked Arrested Development a lot, but Friends, just the longevity of it is too much. And also, I have a lot of childhood memories watching it too. Although the first one I saw was probably when Glenny was still in the womb. But I'm going to go with Friends just because of the longevity of it. As funny as Arrested Development was, only 3 really good seasons, and Friends was so good for so
How old
long.
are you, Mintz?
I'm
Good
40.
points, Mintz.
Okay.
40.
Okay.
See? Thought he'd get killed.
Good points. Good points. Good points.
White Sox Dave?
I never saw either. All I know about Friends is that Phoebe's a hoe. I
true?
know that
No.
Captain Sobel is horrible casting for whatever his name is.
David
in,
Schwimmer.
David Schwimmer. Whatever
What the
his name is in Friends. And
Ross.
Band of
Ross.
Brothers? Is that what we're talking
Ross.
about?
Yeah.
And
Ross.
I also am just a guy that, because I am such a huge Seinfeld fan, and I was weirdly trying not to say Seinfeld like we're tipping picks in the snake draft, but I'm such a huge Seinfeld fan that I will never watch Friends just out of loyalty.
Are they
So-
rivals?
What a barbaric.
They
mean,
were.
they kinda
They
were.
really were rivals.
They
What a
kinda were.
barbaric.
Yeah.
What a barbaric take that Phoebe's a hoe and David Schwimmer is a horrible cast.
Well, that was a joke.
Well, and it made
Balls.
it was actually perfect because you hated him and you were supposed to hate him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was
Ross
good in
awesome.
as Robert Kardashian.
Yeah,
In
and
that,
Robert
in
Kardashian,
the OJ
like,
thing.
awful
Oh,
casting.
juice. I liked him in Entourage. Good cameos.
He's in that Jennifer Aniston commercial. That's
Yeah,
been
just
playing
doing
every
the
5
Super Bowl
minutes.
commercial.
Yeah.
I also forgot to mention that I definitely had like a childhood crush on Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, we all did.
French.
I
I
think
was
we all
more
did.
of a Courtney Cox person.
Well, both of them.
Really?
Yeah. Blonde,
Yeah.
The brunette with the light eyes always gets me.
I think at their peak, Courtney Cox may have been more beautiful woman. I mean, they're both absolutely beautiful. But
Yeah.
Courtney Cox, like season 7, good stuff.
Neither of them have aged over the last 30 years.
Makes zero sense.
Courtney Cox.
A little, probably her, but Jennifer Aniston is not.
Courtney Cox, like you could tell she's had a lot of work done. And Aniston looks like the exact same.
She's like, she is impervious to getting older.
Yeah.
So which one are you going to go with Arrested Development then? Out of
Yeah,
Hatred
I'm
for
going.
Friends?
Yeah, definitely. Arrested
So we're
Development.
3-2
And I've
in
never
favor of
seen.
Friends.
I couldn't even name a character in Arrested Development.
Jason Bateman.
Okay.
They're all the Bluths.
I mean, that's not a character. That's the actor. What's
Joe
his character
Bluth
name?
is one of the greatest characters
Bluth.
in sitcom history.
I do think that I would like Arrested Development though,
I
and I'm
feel-
sure I'd like Friends.
I feel like I know Arrested Development gifs more than I know like
Yeah.
a show that I've never seen, but I know, and I use like the sad walking one like all the time. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's just I think we did a gift draft, and I think I might have drafted that.
yeah. It
Yeah.
was like the breeding ground of a lot of very good actors too.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
beyond just like Michael Cera, obviously right there, but then like Patrick Bateman launches from there. Well, and
well,
Netflix
Jason
stuff.
Bateman didn't launch from it.
Well,
Jason Bateman was
that-
a star in the 80s.
Yeah, but I mean like for I guess his adult career, I guess.
Yeah, it was like a renaissance.
Yeah,
But
but-
Will Arnett, that was the first thing really that he put him on the map.
Will Arnett for sure huge after that, and even like Dick Cross was doing like Mr. Show and shit before that.
Yes,
But like
yeah.
I would say like this is probably the first huge like big role probably, right?
It's fair. It's fair.
And then Portia
Wait,
de Rossi,
how-
Mary Dillon.
How like I mean, you didn't even say Ron Howard or Liza Minnelli. I
Well,
don't know
Ron Howard was the creator of the
like the
show. He
narr-
wasn't really in it.
like
Eliza
the
Minnelli had a
okay,
small
okay,
part.
okay.
Yeah.
Kenjac, have you seen
Ron
every
Howard's a
show?
narrator.
Yeah.
But he also was one of the developers.
What'd you say, Chief?
Have you seen every show on the bracket?
I've seen all of these at least like in a few episodes of them. I would say.
All right. Just curious.
Except for we're gonna have like our play-in options. Those ones definitely were a little dicier.
Okay.
So we're 3-2 in favor of Friends. Eddie.
Yeah, similar to Dave, I haven't seen either of these.
This is crazy. You guys haven't seen Arrested Development.
Yeah,
I know.
We're fucking friends.
I know I'd love Arrested
I talked
Development.
about this on our sitcom draft. I got absolutely smoked for that whole draft. But I'm going to lean on some things that I do know as far as cultural relevance. I know that the fan base of Arrested Development is like rabid. They're like a kind of a niche crew that they love, and I wish I could stand behind them. But to me, just the iconicness of Friends, the characters, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, like you said, and the theme song. TV's big about theme songs. You got that Rembrandt's "I'll Be There for You."
For you.
So I got to go with Friends.
That's a great point, Eddie. So Friends is going to move on. Next matchup is number 4 seed, a Titanic one versus number 13 seed. 4 seed is Curb Your Enthusiasm, and that's going up against number 13 seed. One that I think we all have fonder memories for, but it's tough. It's a really rough draw. That 70s show. So that's
Oh man, you're gonna kill me on this one. These are two of my favorite, like 5 ever.
that 70s show versus Curb Your Enthusiasm. Eddie, you're up first.
Yeah, same thing. Haven't got into a ton of either of these as well, but I think I like.
Do they not have
knowing me-
televisions in Chicago? What's happening?
It was Sports Center. It was the Challenge. It was the Surreal Life. It was the Real World. Like that's kind of what I did.
Yeah.
I just didn't do network TV. But
Well, Curb Your Enthusiasm is on HBO.
sure,
It's on
yeah,
network
sure,
TV.
sure. I know. I just basically talked myself around in that, but
Get him, Klemmer.
but it's like one of those things where I felt like I had to do Seinfeld before that, so I never did. Regardless, not the point. The point is, I definitely think I would lend myself to Larry David's style of comedy over that 70s show. So I'm taking Curb.
1 for Curb. White Sox Dave.
This is so hard. So we were just talking about this today. I've seen every Seinfeld episode 1 million times. I can go verbatim with every line in every episode. Officially just started. I've tried it a few other times and I've lost, but I've got through like 20 episodes of Curb this past weekend. It's everything that I heard it would be and expected it to be. It's awesome TV. On the flip side, I haven't watched an episode of that 70s show in 15, 20, whatever, whenever it stopped airing, but I think I watched like every episode when they were live. Like that was when the new episode was coming out. I was looking forward to that. I love that show. Red Foreman, an all-time great character. Underrated character too. I'm gonna get smoked for this. I just by default because I have to go that 70s show just because I've seen it and it's objectively a great show. But I know on the flip side, I will fast forward a week from now, I would have to take Curb because Curb is it's perfect comedy for my comedic taste.
So which one? I'm sorry. Which one are you taking?
That 70. I've seen every
Okay,
episode.
so you're taking
more,
that 70 show as your vote.
I kind of have to.
Okay. All right.
I've only seen a dozen, 15, 20 episodes of Curb. And they were all in the last couple days.
Mintzy.
This is y'all are putting me in a brutally tight spot on this one because these are two of my favorites ever, and I can't believe I'm going to do this because don't get me wrong, I freaking love Curb. The Leon Black, when they had Leon Black in them, the Katrina stuff, that is some of the funniest comedy I've ever seen in my
Get the
entire
door,
life.
Peanut.
I don't even know who or what Leon Black is, but I cannot
brother.
wait to get to Leon Black because everyone's like,
that's
"Oh, wait till you get to Leon
season
Black."
Yeah, well,
Wait till
they
you
took
get
in the
to-
Katrina family,
Yeah.
and it's unreal. But having said that,
He lives here in
as much
LA.
as I love Curb, I watched that 70s show so much more than I watched Curb. Like, as good as Curb was, that 70s show was like a huge part of my, I don't know, I guess teenage years and 20s, and I just loved it. And the only thing, that 70s show kind of fell off a little bit at the end when they lost some when some of the actors left, and so the last couple weren't as good. But man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going that 70s show because of just the memories I have. I just spent so much more time watching it.
When
than I
they're
did Curb.
smoking weed in the basement.
Yeah, it was just
Circle cam.
Yeah,
the
just
circle
Yeah.
cam.
circle
yeah.
cam,
Great
the
shot.
the red Foreman thing, like you said, the boot, putting a boot in your ass all the time, my foot in your
Yeah.
ass
Yeah.
thing, and just
He was like the perfect sitcom
When-
dad.
I mean that 70s show. I just
Eric,
love-
step away from your cousin when he was trying to bang his cousin. It's not my
How
cousin.
many of you was Red Foreman your dad's favorite character? Because my dad loved.
Oh,
yeah.
Foreman. He loved that character more than anything.
Yeah.
We'd all watch it together. Like me, him, my dad, my mom, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember this thing." Oh, blah blah blah, and they just loved that experience big time. So I don't blame you at all, Mintzy.
The only thing
Chief-
is that makes me want to take the pick back is that they all turned into fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Or worse.
worse,
criminals,
much worse.
Yeah. He's like done for life, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
yeah.
it's not. It
Like
ain't good.
60 years or something?
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
done forever. Chief.
So this is a tough one for me too. I didn't see that. I didn't even think of that 70s
Me
show.
either. And right when you said it, I was just like, damn.
And there was a moment in time, I feel like, when you would get home from school. This might have even been in college too, where you would go like Simpsons would be on like Fox as a rerun, that 70s show, and Seinfeld on TBS, like back to back to back. Like you had an hour and a half just blocked off with those, and that was kind of the routine. You get home and you just put on those shows, and they're both great. So I love that 70s show. Having said that, Curb might be my number 1 seed, so I gotta go Curb. Curb's like, even that little, like we were talking about Leon Black, where it's like, yeah, they took in the Katrina family. Yeah, but Leon was actually just living in LA and moved in anyways. So like, there's just so many like little fun. Curb is like perfect to me, and so yeah, I have to go Curb.
I was just telling Marty, who's also a huge Curb fan. I've been restarting it with my fiance. I'd never seen it before. We just got to the episode with Funkhauser's crazy sister.
Yep.
Bam Bam.
Yep.
It's like, even just hearing that, like, White Sox Dave, Funkhauser's crazy sister named Bam Bam. Does that not sound like comedy gold?
It's hilarious.
All right.
The Funkhauser with his dad's, the one where the Dodger Stadium after his dad died and he honored that chair with the empty chair thing. And like, oh, that man. And then like the other one was Larry sticking his foot out and tripping Shaq and causing panic around LA when Shaq got hurt. Oh man!
One of the craziest things about Curb, which I had only found out like I guess like a couple years ago, was that they exonerated like a guy from a murder
we
charge.
just talked about this like an hour ago.
Yeah, it's insane. Like an insane thing that's true. So we're 2-2 right now. Klemmer?
Yeah, like that 70s show it's a fine show. It's fine. Curb Enthusiasm is one of the most brilliant television shows ever made. Like, it's so funny. Larry David's a genius. You could argue about how much of it has Seinfeld DNA and it would have existed without Seinfeld. That's a whole different debate. But if you're just asking Curb Enthusiasm for that 70s show, this should be a blowout. Curb Enthusiasm is one of the most brilliant comedies of all time.
I think it's kind of like asking like filet mignon versus like a cheeseburger. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like both are good in different ways. Like one of them is just like a little bit more on that next level. But also it's HBO. Not everyone had it. Not everybody saw it until later in life. So like, it's hard weighing the impact.
Love the fact that it was originally just like a one-off. Like they just did it wasn't even really a pilot episode. It was like Larry like doing like his own like stand-up comedy routine. Yeah. And then out of that came like 20 years of television. And
it was last weekend, right?
It was a finale. Yeah.
It just ended. Glenny?
Like you just said, it's like this is like AAA to the majors. It's there's no realm, there's no rational world where this is even a conversation.
Yeah.
Respectfully to that 70s show, but there's just
Can you put an asterisk that I change my vote like in the future? Because I know I'm going to change it, but not for like another week or two.
And also, I feel like she was so good in this last season too. Like Susie.
Yeah, dude, she's
so
funny.
Yeah.
Just calling Jeff repeatedly a fat fuck. Never not make me smile. She's so like. I feel like people think of Curb. I think of Larry David. I think of Larry David. The secondary Curb characters are some of the best.
They're incredible.
Like Susie and Leon,
just like Seinfeld.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like my favorite, like it's such a small bit thing that happened, but when they do the anniversary party for Ted Danson and his wife, and her gift is her daughter singing a song, and she's like in the back like a stage mom, like lip singing all the things. It was like I don't know. That
I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm laughing.
You know my one
fucking show. And Susie, you're right, Glenny. Susie is so fucking funny,
man.
Dude, my one toxic trait about Curb, and I think even Seinfeld, I don't know why I had this weird thing in my brain where I haven't watched the early seasons, and I feel like I have to.
Oh, yeah.
You should.
The early seasons of Curb are some of the best.
The first Seinfeld season I've watched was, for some reason, I have this thing in my brain where I think like sitcoms, they suck in the beginning because they're getting their
It does happen a lot.
Seinfeld, that's actually kind of true with
I think the
Seinfeld.
first
It is
Seinfeld
true
season I
with
watched is
Seinfeld.
the one where they go to LA for the show.
Yeah.
And then I think the first Curb I've watched is like 4. Like I gotta watch the first few Curb seasons.
Yeah.
No, the
So you
first
haven't seen
season of
the-
Seinfeld was called the Seinfeld Chronicles, and it doesn't have the very first episode doesn't have Elaine in it.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always figured
And
because
it's
I started
different,
watching and
yeah.
I just love Frank Costanza so much. I was like, I'm only watching when Frank Costanza's on and on.
Yeah. But like
But,
the premise, like one of the early, some of my two of my favorite episodes, where he has like a fake corduroy movie theater pants boner, just the way his pants.
That's the
bulge
first
up.
episode.
That's episode one.
First episode.
episode.
That's
that,
like,
that
I
clip
feel
was
like,
in the that clip was in the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
that is That's one thing I always hear is like the early episodes. Like
It's
the
the
first
bullshit.
curb,
It's just
the
the
first
bullshit.
curb memory I ever remember just like seeing on TV. I was so young, but it was him and the lady like fighting in the doctor's office.
Yeah.
That's like the first thing I
Yeah.
remember. That was
I feel like
really
he fights with a lot of ladies in doctor's
And
offices too.
I love it's another early episode. I was just talking to Dave about this when he becomes a car salesman for a day or a week
Oh,
or whatever
yeah,
it was.
yeah,
I think
great.
that's like a hilarious,
funny.
hilarious episode. Yeah.
So one episode I like how you can argue on his behalf, and he's kind of right in a lot of his situations. Just like society says he's not allowed to be right.
Right.
He yelled "cunt" at the poker game.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "You can't say cunt." He's like, "What if I said dick?" He's like, "Is that not sexist?" I'm like,
Maybe that's why Dave Portnoy tried to
kinda-
bring the word cunt back.
Oh, and then
That
there's
was kinda
beloved
his-
cunt. I
yeah.
mean, is another all-timer in Curb in the obituary for the end. Like it's just, there's so many of these, dude.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I've had probably I'd say a half dozen people reach out to me and say they're jealous of me that I'm just now starting the show. Like they wish they could go back in time and start it for the first time because it's like that magical.
Yep. Oh man. Now that you say it, yeah, definitely very jealous. Curb gonna move on. Next matchup. I think this is one of the harder ones too, but it depends on audience as well. 8 seed versus 9 seed. Scrubs is the 8 seed. I fucking love Scrubs, and I also love the one it's going up against Parks and Rec, which I think is super fucking funny. So Scrubs versus Parks and Rec. Glenny Balls.
I'm gonna feel like a Chicago guy here and say I really haven't watched either of these.
That's fine.
But I think just from my knowledge of society and what it is, I think Parks and Rec is the pick here. I mean, they had what
A
what's
million
his face?
A-listers.
Chris Pratt, Amy Poehler, Chris Pratt,
She
Audrey
Rob
Plaza,
Lowe.
Aziz,
Sure.
Adam
Yep.
Scott.
Rob
Yeah.
Lowe. So I feel like this
Scott.
just has to be Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec. Klemmer.
Oof. So these are two B-plus shows. Neither of these shows are great. They're both very good. They both had horrible final seasons. They both.
It's also true.
These are very. This is a perfect 8-9 matchup. Who'd you say, Glenny? You went with Parks and
I went
Rec?
Parks and Rec, just because
I
the
might
cast
just
that came
I
from
might
it.
just go with Scrubs just to counterbalance that a little bit. Scrubs is really. I think Scrubs was a more creative show as far as how it was directed. You could say Parks and Rec is a funnier show. That's fair take. I'm just gonna go with the other one just to balance it out because I think these could not be more equal.
That's what I was saying. I
eyes.
mean, I feel like it's pretty even. Chief.
I got Parks and Rec. I'm not super familiar with Scrubs, but like you were saying, Glenny, the cast is unbelievable. Aubrey Plaza, like so many like giant stars.
Aziz
Offerman.
Ansari, Nick Offerman. Like what a.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched Parks and Rec, Dave?
Nope.
All right, so Nick Offerman
You
is
love
like
Nick Offerman in that.
I know
Holy
who
shit,
he is,
Ron
yeah.
Swanson.
Yeah.
Ron
Nick-
Swanson's a great character.
Ron Swanson being like this ultra right wing guy who also happens to work for the government is just
Yeah.
like a preposterous, not preposterous, but just like a hilarious little bit that they just do for I don't know 8 seasons where he's I don't know. I thought that was a very good show. I think it might be. I think it's appropriately ranked, but I think this is a very good show. It must be. It's a deep board if this is
I'm
the 8th
I'm
best
looking
sitcom.
for a new show. I might make this my show.
Parks and
Yeah,
Rec.
give
I
it a
might
shot.
start it.
That's
I
another
may.
show. You're talking about Seinfeld. Season 1 is everything after that.
Yeah,
to
you
the
gotta get
end of
past season 1. And the last season's horrific. Horrific.
But seasons 2 through last season are really,
fantastic.
really good. It's really, really good shit. So one for Parks and Rec. Mintzy?
I'm going Parks and Rec too. I saw both of them a good bit, and I thought Scrubs is like a pretty good show, kind of feel good, cheesy, but like B plus is like what you said. I thought Parks and Rec was some really, really funny. The cast, like you said, kind of groundbreaking comedy, and just more. When I think of the two, it's just a more unique show and stands out more to me.
Some of the best, like the citizens in Parks and Rec are so fucking funny. Like when they cut away to just be
Yeah.
just citizens at town hall being really stupid, very, very funny. Also, the blooper reel for Parks and Rec is one of the funniest I think I've ever watched in my life. If you ever get a chance to watch that, White Sox Dave.
I haven't seen either, so I'm just gonna pull a Glenny Balls here and go with Parks and Rec just due to the star power. That's
It is
pretty much all I
massive.
can give. I've seen enough of Scrubs. I never really got into it. I never really liked it too much.
That's fair. I think it's like is Brandon Walker's like favorite show, #1 show or something.
That wouldn't surprise me. He's very much like the John C. McGillney character in that show.
Yeah,
One of he
that's
sees
fair.
himself in that show a little bit.
Yeah, Eddie.
Yeah, I feel bad. People are gonna be mad at me, but I just
know,
haven't.
I know.
People are gonna be pissed. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. That's why I've just kind of been laying low here on the show.
That's
so.
all right. Well,
We'll
hopefully
get to the heavy hitters. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, like the way it, like I understand how these shows are too is Parks and Rec is almost like the Burger King to The Office's McDonald's in a way. I don't know.
That's like the first season. The first season is so bad because they're trying to do an Office carbon copy, and they make Amy Poehler's character like Michael Scott, and they realize it doesn't work. You can't recreate that. You're exactly right, Eddie.
Yeah. So like, and I know there are people that I don't know how large the population is that liked it better than The Office. So just for that alone, I'm gonna go with the Parks and Rec.
It is crazy how network TV just can't do a great sitcom anymore. Because we've talked about 4 NBC sitcoms already. So and now it's just like all the funniest shows are just HBO. I feel like
Or streaming.
or streaming. Yeah.
Like the whole thing shifted. It's wild.
Yeah.
I will say one that I didn't make this cut that is another NBC one. Superstore is very, very funny. It didn't get the respect it deserved because it came out, I think, a little bit past the prime of network sitcom, but it's very good.
See, I've never given that a chance.
Yeah, and
that's part of, I have this bias toward network TV now where I don't give it a shot.
I wouldn't have either, but we had like interviewed someone from it, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll watch a few episodes just to like have something to talk about, and it was very, very funny.
People say Abbott Elementary is very good. I've never seen that either, and it's like I have this weird, like I said, this bias now.
Okay, so now we're gonna have the number 1 seed versus the chain game. We'll do the chain game first. A whole bunch of options here. I wanted to be able to include a lot because there's going to be so hard. It was really hard leaving these off. The first of which is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't think this crew will have watched a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've watched a lot of it. It's very funny. The League, which I know that'll definitely tickle some fancies here, I'd imagine. Silicon Valley, added on here. Silicon Valley is hysterical, but also it's HBO. Not a ton of people had seen it. Workaholics, New Girl didn't make the cut. People will be pissed about that, I'm sure. How I Met Your Mother didn't make the cut. Married with Children, Modern Family. Modern Family was a really tough late cut. Very, very tough late cut. But again, it's another one where I don't know.
Married with Children?
Married with Children didn't make the cut. There's just nothing I can do. It's such a stack. You'll see as we go on why it doesn't make the cut.
That's offensive.
King of Queens, very late cut. And then lastly, Freaks and Geeks. I was like, it's hard to call it a sitcom because so much drama is attached to it.
It's an hour long.
And it's an hour long. So you know what?
That was my suggestion.
Yeah.
We can write that off. That's fine.
So to go through them again, and Eddie, you'll be up first. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The League, Silicon Valley, Workaholics, New Girl, How I Met Your Mother, Married with Children, Modern Family, King of Queens. Which one do you want to face our 1 seed? And you can guess what our 1 seed is.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna go with Married with Children, like Dave said.
Al Bundy's a legend.
Great character, shoe salesman, like just like a perfect
4
job.
touchdowns.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I just like I always say one of the like most subtle parts of comedy I love from 40-year-old virgin is when he carries the wheel in with him everywhere he goes. Like just something stupid he looks like that makes me laugh. Just the fact that he's a shoe salesman is great. So Married with Children.
And he's in 2 of these. Ed Sullivan.
Yeah.
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill. Sorry,
Ed O'Neill.
Ed Sullivan. Ed O'Neill. in both these,
It's almost before my time even.
Yeah. Dave.
Married with Children.
Double for Married with Children. Also, Christina Applegate. Hello.
Smoke show.
Dave?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
She was
Mintzy?
like the first girl I ever wanted to fornicate with.
What an honor.
Mintzy.
I'm gonna go How I Met Your Mother here. I think I think it's just I watched all of it and spent a lot of time with it, and so that's kind of why I'm going with it. But Modern Family's a tough omission here, and I like The League, but it was kind of more like there were funny bits, but it didn't flow like the best.
I thought The League was funny.
I
No,
Rafi.
I
You're
like
not alone.
season 1. Yeah.
That show just has such an expiration date on it because of the
Yeah.
topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just it spoils a lot.
Yeah.
Chief.
I'm gonna between Silicon Valley and New Girl. I feel like New Girl gets like the Friends treatment, where it's
That's
like
fair.
it's a girl show, but it's really not. Like those, like I watched it during the pandemic, and it was a very funny show. But Silicon Valley to me is like the funniest of that list. I think that's a hilarious show. I think I don't know why it never grabbed people the way some of those other HBO comedies do, but I thought that was a perfectly done show. They kind of make fun of like the tech, not kind of. They make fun of the tech world, I feel like, perfectly. And I don't know. It's great characters. The storyline never really got stale. Like I feel like they ended it at the right time. So Silicon Valley's the vote.
I forgot how funny Ross Hanneman was. The like really rich.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
he was the first person to say things fucks. Like,
Yeah,
That's true.
That's a truly iconic like piece of language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Saying
the
everything
cultural
fucks.
lexicon.
That's Russ. That is
Yeah.
Russ Hanneman.
Trace
Klemmer?
Comas. Yeah.
I'm really torn. I'm guessing I'm torn between the 2 shows you're torn with, Glenny.
I don't
And
know.
King of Queens to me is a prototypical sitcom. Like, I think it works really well on so many different levels. Like, you can put it on anytime. Does it have the intellectual laughs that Silicon Valley has? No, it doesn't. Silicon Valley is a brilliant show, especially the first 2 seasons to me. I'm going to go with King of Queens here, and Married with Children is a great option too. I'm going to go King of Queens here just because to me, when I think sitcom, it's one of the first things that pop in my mind for whatever reason, and I just think it is like the warm bath of sitcoms.
I love that. It's a, what do you call it? Yeah, kind of.
It's comfort food.
Yeah.
Like,
ugly but very funny husband, smoking hot wife, that's
and then
stern.
this wild character.
Wildcat dad in the basement. That's just hysterical.
And the three of them make it work, and they make it work every single time you watch it. Like, are there any great episodes? Maybe not, but there are no bad ones. And every time I walk away with a chuckle, and I enjoy it.
So no one for King of Queens right now.
This is in like the Everybody Loves Raymond kind of.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
100%.
Yeah.
So this is interesting for me. The position we're in. If you guys have gone, I think the funniest show on this list by far is The League. I think The League is a unbelievably funny, hilarious show. That was my pick on there. Like I'm on record saying Rafi, I think, is one of the funniest TV characters of all time. His dynamic with Dirty Randy. Like I one time I told Dion, I had to tell Dion, I was like, maybe one of my favorite TV moments of all time. Rafi and Dirty Randy are filming a porn in an apartment that Dion's trying to buy, and Dion walks in on them, and Rafi just goes to Dion, buddy, I don't know who you are, but you're about to get chlamydia.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if you haven't watched Rafi, you got to look up
Seth
Rafi,
Rogen
funniest
too, right?
moments. And Dirty Randy is Seth
Seth
Rogen.
Rogen.
It's all amazing. But now that no one's voted for them, so basically I did enjoy Silicon Valley, but I thought it got a little stale at the end because they're just repeating a lot. And I didn't finish Silicon Valley, and I didn't finish King of Queens, so I got to pick one of those right now. I'm going to go with King of Queens, though.
Ooh, King of Queens. All right, so then we're going to be in a two-way tie between Married with Children and King of Queens, both with 2 votes. Before I tiebreak, I will give the Silicon Valley vote and the How I Met Your Mother vote a chance if you want to switch on tiebreak. You had How I Met Your Mother, right, Mintzy? So if you want, I'm going to give you the opportunity to switch your vote in tiebreak if you want.
Okay, so what's the tiebreaker vote? League and
Married with Children or King of Queens?
I'll go Married with Children. I loved Al Bundy.
Married with Children. Klemmer, would you go with Married with Children or King of Queens?
It's going to get fucked up anyway.
I went with King of Queens.
Oh, you with King of Queens. Who voted for Silicon Valley?
That was me.
Would you want to switch to one of these?
Sure, I'll go with Married with Children as well.
So Married with Children. Either way.
That's the classic pick.
Yeah.
That's
You need you need to get some 80s in here.
And Married. Oh, we'll be
80s,
getting there.
90s.
It's and also like from like legacy standpoint, it was Fox's first hit. Like without Married with Children, there's a good chance we never get The Simpsons. Like it gave them some because it was the first breakout hit, and that allowed Tracy Ullman show to work, which Simpsons is a spinoff of. So like Married with Children is important.
And either way, it's going into a buzzsaw, an absolute buzzsaw, going against Seinfeld, the #1 seed. So Married with Children versus Seinfeld. Let's start with you, Glenny Balls.
Yeah, I mean, Seinfeld, obviously.
So, Seinfeld, obviously.
I don't even want. Do we even need to do like the whole song and dance of me talking about Seinfeld? Obviously, it's Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, what Glenny said. I mean, it's not even worth the debate here.
Chief.
Yep, Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
This should be 6 words.
No, Eddie, you can do it.
Married with Children.
Come on, Ed.
No, that's from his. That's true.
Give us your argument, Ed.
No, I don't really have a real one. I just want to go against the grain. So
But you
Either way.
watched
Married
a
with
lot
Children.
more Married with Children than Seinfeld.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
that's
but it's like, listen, I'm not
right,
going
I
to
know,
sit
I
here and
know.
argue.
Yeah. Either way, Seinfeld, absolute buzzsaw. Like we said, it's very tough to beat. Before we get to the other half of the bracket, let's talk about BetterHelp. The bracket is sponsored by BetterHelp. It can be easy to ignore our social batteries, spread ourselves thin, especially in social gatherings. Picking up, especially after the winter, now we're getting into summer. It's been like, I don't know how it's been in Chicago, but the last 2 days in New York have been best days of the year. Oh,
We've
it's
turned
like,
a corner here as well.
Yeah, it's like in the low 70s with the breeze, like clear skies. It's like the most perfect type of day you could possibly imagine.
Windows open, no AC.
So what's the right amount of socializing for you, and how do you recharge? Maybe you thrive around people, or maybe you need more alone time. Therapy can give you the self-awareness to build a social life that doesn't drain your battery. If you've benefited from, I'm assuming some of us at least have benefited from therapy. I did it. I used BetterHelp over the course of COVID. Very helpful. Did not having to go fit to a physical office. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, just give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find your social sweet spot with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/lights today. You get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lights. All right, second half as we get a sub for Mintzy, who had to duck out. Number 6 seed versus the 11 seed. The 6 seed, this is another one. It's so fucking good, and it has all of the hardware to back it up. It's just, if you polled like 100 people off the street, I would imagine maybe like 5 people had seen it, which is crazy. Veep. Veep has all the hardware. It's fucking hysterical. It's so good. Oh boy, who'd Mintzy get as a sub?
I'll tell you what, I'm happy to see him because he's gonna be the only person I know that has
Who's
seen
seen
less than me.
than you?
I thought I was having someone who could help me with the old shows.
Yeah,
and I'm getting the youngest person in the company.
Mintzy ducks out, and
What
now
up,
we get Nicky
GB?
Smokes, who's like one of the
What's up,
youngest
brother?
people
Long
here.
time no talk.
What happened? What happened to Mintzy?
Mintzy had to duck out.
got
But
sick.
Jesus
He,
Christ.
Now we
he
get
looked
Nicky
like he was about to puke all over Chief's wang.
Oh, is that what's
Yeah.
going on? He's sick?
yeah, he
Well, thanks for
he was a
coming
little
and
bit sick.
sitting right next to us for half an hour.
I think it was like
If I get a stomach
nausea
bug from
thing.
this, I'm gonna fucking kill him.
I think it was he just got sick on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
So
just
Mintzy has diarrhea, and because of that, I'm not going to be
Yes.
able to. I'm not going to win any of these old shows.
We're doing
I'm not-
best sitcoms, by the way.
I'll try to help you with some of the old ones, Klemmer.
Thank you, Chief.
And I'm very Nicky Smokes. Have you ever seen Veep?
no.
I didn't. And that's the one where this is what I'm saying. Like maybe 5 out of 100 people you poll might have seen Veep, but it has like.
What seed did you give this one?
I gave this the 6 seed.
Okay. All right.
It's one. It has all the every Emmy.
I know.
Has like 20 Emmys every season it comes out.
Good, it's good. It's
And
not
it's-
even Tony Hale's best show, but it's fine.
Tony Arrested Development. You're saying?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, no bad seasons of Veep, my friend. That's going up.
Netflix
Against,
never happened.
that's going up against the number 11 seed, another NBC one that is, I would say, legendary in its own right, next to Amy Poehler. 30 Rock with Tina Fey. 30 Rock, I think, goes massively underrated. Super fucking funny show.
They're both great, and these are the 2 shows that if you watch them with my dad, he gets mad if you laugh because then he thinks he's missing the next joke because like the lines the punchlines and things happen so fast. We're like, shut up, you're gonna make me miss the next joke. And this was back, especially on 30 Rock before we had like DVR and stuff where you could pause it. He would like get irate if you laughed too hard at a joke.
That was a big word. What did you just say? Irate?
Irate?
That
Two
is-
syllables. 2 syllables.
Five letters, Nicky. It's not that big. It's 5
angry.
letters.
What's
Angry.
that mean?
Mad.
Just
Angry.
really
How do you
angry.
spell that? IRATE?
Yep.
There you go.
Learn something new every day.
All right, Glenny, which one do you like, Veep or 30 Rock?
Out of respect to my mom, Veep is her favorite show of all time, so I'm going to go Veep here. And I did start watching it recently because I have been looking for new shows. Like I said, I've been through about 4 episodes only, but I have enjoyed the 4 episodes. I don't know what that dude's name. The tall guy is Jonah. What is his
Yeah,
last
Jonah.
name in real
Yeah,
life?
Jonads.
He's fucking hilarious. I mean, it's a funny show, and I'm pretty sure I've heard. I love Sam Richardson. I don't think he's in it yet.
Not
I
yet.
haven't
He'll
seen
be
it
in a little
yet,
bit
but I'm
later
excited
on.
for Sam Richardson to get in it, so I'm gonna go Veep here. I think I'm excited about that. Veep, it's funny from the few episodes. I've
Super.
watched.
Every like little mini character that comes
Yeah.
into is so.
And I feel that, and like you said,
funny.
no one's really watched it, but the people I know that have watched it are all obsessed with it.
They all think it's like one of the best shows
Yeah.
they've seen. Yeah, Klemmer.
Yeah, so I have a take here that isn't very popular. I don't love 30 Rock. I think 30 Rock.
Really?
I understand why people do. So I get it. I'm not going to say it's like a shitty show at all. It's not. It's just, to me, it's like a cartoon. And it's like, it's too much. And it's just, nothing feels real. Nothing's grounded in any sort of reality at all. Like, to the point of, like, it's just, I don't care about anything that's happening. It all feels like a cartoon. Veep is a very good show. I would put it personally with the Scrubs and in that like the 8,
wow.
9
Oh,
seed-ish for me.
Wow.
But I'm gonna go with Veep here because I just don't like 30 Rock. But I understand what people do. I completely get it. It's a me thing.
Chief.
I love both shows. I'm gonna go Veep. It's close, but I think the characters in Veep are just so like they all have their moments where they completely steal the show. Like you could have an episode based on like 6 different characters. I don't really set it up that way, but they're all funny enough to like carry episodes by themselves, and they all somehow they all work together. I love Veep. I'm surprised Klemmer just not into it.
I like it. No. Don't get me wrong. I think Scrubs is a really good show. What was it? What was Scrubs up against?
Scrubs was against Parks and Rec.
Yeah, like those are both shows I think very highly of. I think very
Okay.
highly of Veep. I just don't put it in that next tier, if that makes any sense.
Okay, I think it's closer to the next tier than the tier that you had it at. I guess. Yeah.
Nicky Smokes, Veep or 30 Rock.
I'm gonna go with 30 Rock just because Klemmer's answer was so dog shit.
Have you seen either of these shows?
Yeah.
He's lying.
It's lying through his fucking teeth.
Well said, Nicky.
So 30 Rock out of just despite Klemmer.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Dave.
This is like a 1 seed versus 1 seed in terms of women comedic
Yeah.
people. Tina Fey and Julia, they're both TV women comedy royalty, you know?
Yep.
I haven't seen either show. I've never seen a single episode of Veep. I've seen a handful of episodes of 30 Rock. Alec Baldwin's in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Jack Donaghy.
I gun to head, I would say Veep, just because 30 Rock never really did it for me.
Have you ever seen?
In spite of how much I love Tina Fey,
Have you ever seen Death of Stalin? I feel like it's a movie you'd have watched.
Oh yeah.
I have not.
Oh, Death of Stalin.
Same
Hilarious.
director writer as
Okay, that
Veep,
makes. I didn't know that, but that makes sense.
Ian Nucci, I think.
Both Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Tina Fey, they're starting SNL.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yep.
I
I think those are the two funniest women of all time.
they're so both of them hysterical.
Yeah.
Amy Poehler's pretty funny.
She's
I have
she's-
her that next tier
Yeah,
down.
she's a tier down, but she's definitely up there.
Eddie.
I've seen more 30 Rock. I think basing a show off of SNL, it could have went south, like really south, you know. But like Tina Fey, they really held it together and they did a good job. So I'm gonna go 30 Rock.
30 Rock. Next matchup, the 3 seed versus
What won that?
Veep won that.
Okay.
4-2. The Office versus it was a 3 seed
Jesus.
going up against an American Office, and not that anyone thought it would be the UK one. Going up against number 14 seed one. Not one I would have thought to include on here, but it got responded with so often by so many different people. I feel like I had to include it. Otherwise, it would have been the chain game. Malcolm in the Middle. So many people responded with Malcolm in the Middle, and I agree. It's I think it's hysterical. But I just didn't know if that they had hitters or shooters out there like that. You know what I mean? So Malcolm in the Middle versus The Office. It's a tough one to even vote on. You know what I mean? It's just The Office is just such a behemoth. But Eddie.
Yeah, this is the first one I could confidently weigh in on. It's The Office. I love The Office. I got shit on for taking Michael Scott 1-1 in the sitcom character draft. Michael Scott is fucking amazing.
Legend.
What?
Amazing.
Do we shit on you just because
Chief was shitting on me.
I think it was a chalk pick, probably. Yeah.
It's a
But,
great pick. Look what happened when he got the show. It's a
I
shit.
think at that point Eddie might not have seen The Office. I think that might.
No,
have
that's not
No,
the
I don't think he did. I was on that draft. I remember because you said you're not even like a fan. You just took him to take him because you thought that was
Yeah.
chalk.
That is not true. I could. I literally named my favorite Michael Scott scenes.
All right.
Didn't you watch it during COVID for the first time?
I don't know when I watched it, but it was. What's wrong with that? What's the difference between
Just
that?
wondering. I'm wondering when the draft.
So no one could ever
was.
watch. No, I 100% had seen it before.
Okay,
Then.
all right.
Listen, I've been very honest about what I haven't seen and what I haven't seen so far. So why would I lie?
I'm just wondering about the timeline going back in time for that draft.
No. You said
Okay.
it was girly, and it was
No,
like
because
that.
I think the sitcom character draft happened after I was hired, and I was hired after COVID. So I'm going to defend Eddie there.
Okay.
Thank you, Klemmer.
All right.
There you go.
Doofus.
Dave.
It's The Office and what? I'm sorry.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh yeah, duh. I've never seen The Office. I've
Whoa.
seen plenty of The Office, I should say. I know all
That's
the
a
characters.
wild 2 sentences right there.
I've never started The Office and finished The Office. I've seen random episodes here and there, but it's so prevalent in pop culture and just everything that I know who all the characters are. So I feel like I've seen it already. You know, I actually did watch the final episode live. I should say that because all my college roommates were watching. But I mean, Malcolm in the Middle, I watched that just like that 70s show. Like not in 20 years, but I watched every episode probably. You got to go The Office. It's I mean, what I've seen, hilarious. Michael Scott, obviously, like it's crazy how he didn't get typecast from that. Really. I mean, he kind of is, but he like branched out and did a ton of other stuff. Like that has got to be so hard to do, Steve Carell, because Michael
he's very
Scott is
picky,
like
I think
the
after that.
Yeah.
that is the sitcom character of like most of our lives.
I think he
It's
got
like-
very picky after that. Like he chose like some comedy things. He did like the Judd
Yeah.
Apatow, a couple ones, and then
He did
after
the fucking movie
Big Short,
The Big
and
Short,
I
yeah.
do remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
that, Foxcatcher. and-
Foxcatcher,
Yeah.
Foxcatcher, Big Short, some dramatic stuff.
Yeah.
I remember reading or hearing somewhere that he wore that ridiculous wig in The Big Short, so he didn't look too much like Michael Scott.
That would make sense to
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he had prosthetics for Foxcatcher.
And he did that dog shit fucking Welcome to Morrowind for Zemeckis. Terrible movie. Oh my
Little,
god.
You
Little, Miss,
understand why he
Little
did
Miss Sunshine was great too.
Great.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call,
Yeah.
Chief.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Nicky Smokes, The Officer, Malcolm in the Middle.
It's The Office by far, and it's funny. So when I tried to first start watching The Office, I couldn't get into it, and then my girlfriend at the time was like, "You just have to get through the first 5 episodes," and then I was hooked. I think it's the greatest show of all time. I think they do a great job of captivating like the beauty and the simplicity of like just working in an office. So I think it's The Office all day. Probably the greatest show of all time.
That's funny because I actually think the first 2 seasons, especially those like that first, it was like season 1 was only 6 episodes. I feel like
Correct.
Some of those were like
Pretty racy. Yeah.
I would and exactly like cancelable for sure by today's standards. And I remember like just tears coming out of my eyes watching that season.
The
1.
second episode got me. I think that was Ethnicity Day or something.
Yeah.
Diversity
that's an all-time
Day.
Hall
Diversity Day.
Diversity
Yeah,
Day.
yeah.
Hall of Fame episode.
Yeah.
I've
right
seen
there.
that episode.
Yeah, that's the second one. But I feel like to truly appreciate The Office, you have to like watch it a couple times and understand each character's sense of humor, and then it gets even better.
Is Pam a hoe?
Bro, Pam could get it. She's fine as hell.
Is Pam a
That's
hoe?
not what I asked.
Is just every female a hoe? I don't understand.
She's not a hoe.
I just no. I would
with
get on
Roy
my
and-
knee and
Roy and
ask
Jim.
Tina Fey to marry me right now.
There was maybe a
love
little
her.
crossover of the
Could've
Roy
Lisa
Jim.
Kudrow.
Yeah.
Pam is not a hoe. She's an angel.
Why'd you
Didn't
bring
she
up
give
Tina
Jim
Fey?
the runaround though?
I think you just take him
Yeah,
out.
but that's the game. Everyone gets a little runaround.
I do think that because I worked 9 to 5 for a long time prior to Barstool, and I do think that if I started now, I'd have a great appreciation for it just having been in an office.
Yeah.
Chief,
I'm going to The Office. The Office is it's juggernaut.
it's a tough one. Klemmer.
I literally sold paper while The Office was on.
Wild.
Is that true?
I sold. It was check stock, but it was check paper, like paper. Like so, like it was like, and Nicky said it best: the simplicity and beauty of working out. It's very well said. I
Thank you.
completely agree with everything Nicky smokes. It also shows I'm a better man than Nicky because I'm not out of spite. I'm showing a compliment to my younger cohort there.
They're gonna say you sold paper to like the 12 apostles to write the Bible. I'd buy that too. Glenny.
Yeah, when I watched The Office, I think one time like 9 years ago, I didn't love it, but I mean, it's still. I appreciate that they have the whole Jim and Pam thing going on. That's the reason I like. I know Larry David's whole thing. He never wanted continuation in episodes. I've always enjoyed it, like Friends, like people get together, people get married, etc., etc. So I always thought that was cool. But yeah, I mean, this is almost like we said, Curb at 70 show. It's AAA and majors.
Yeah,
in
very
the realm
good
of
point.
the world. So obviously, it's The Office.
Malcolm
now
in
we
the Middle
have-
was good though. Malcolm in
good
the Middle
show.
was great.
Doesn't sniff The Office up.
Dewey was hilarious. The youngest brother.
Yeah.
They were
I mean,
all
what-
great.
Malcolm in the Middle is by far the worst show on this bracket so far.
So, well, again, it's just a matter of like when enough people mention it, I feel like
I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah,
I think it's for a certain generation. Like I think I'm just too old for it too.
I grew up with 3 brothers, so like it was like a built-in show to my brain. But I was like, I don't want to put too much of my like you know impression on it. But like so many people responded with Malcolm.
I'm sure. But like, for me,
crazy.
I was out of high school when it
Yeah.
premiered, so I was like,
Yeah.
this doesn't really do it for me.
I love that theory, storyline, fan fiction thing where Breaking Bad is the precursor to Malcolm in the Middle, where he goes into witness protection. He's got this suburban family.
Yeah.
But yeah. it's The Office.
7 seed versus 10 seed. The 7 seed is the Fresh Prince of Bel Air going up against the number 10 seed, the Community, or just Community rather. Community, Joel McHale, all them. Fresh Prince being the jump start of like Will Smith after like music, I guess. Although his music wasn't really that big, right? Before
Oh, it was very big.
in like the
Yeah.
early
Late 80s, yes. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince was like a legit musical act.
Gotcha. Okay, so Fresh Prince versus Community. Starting up with you, Glenny Balls.
I'm starting to get worried that I think the funniest show of all time got left off this list.
I'm starting to
by the
get
way.
scared of things.
But let me tell you, I'm going to go with Fresh Prince. I used to love Fresh Prince growing up. Fresh Prince was awesome, and I've never watched Community, so I. Who's the top people in Community? I don't know.
Joel McHale, Chevy
Allison
Chase.
Brie.
Okay.
Oh, Donald Glover.
Ooh, I like
Glover was
Allison
huge.
Brie.
His star.
Okay, that's a
Yeah.
nice trio, but yeah, I'm going to go Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Clemmer?
Yeah, I mean, Fresh Prince of Bel Air was a very good sitcom for sure. It was on, that was a big one when I was growing up. When it was on new. But Community is a brilliant show. It's a great takedown of like pop culture and like what it means to watch television. It's very subversive. It's very brilliant. I'm gonna go Community.
Wow, one for Community. I would have thought if all the people on this panel, I would have thought you would have been Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince is a very good show. If that wins, but I watch Community right now. I'm gonna laugh my ass. I watch Fresh Prince of Bel Air right now. I'll be like, it's
I'll
fine.
be honest, I had never seen it before, and my fiance had started rewatching, and I watched it with her for the first time ever, and I was dying.
Which one?
Fresh Prince.
Yeah, it's good.
Very funny, even in retrospect.
Some of the Carlton stuff's a little. Also, when you grow up there, it's like, all right, but it also ran forever, so it's not the show's fault.
Chief?
I'm going Fresh Prince. This was when I was like a little kid, was my like one of my absolute favorites. And it might not make you laugh as much as some of these other ones, but it makes you feel some things. There's some heartwarming moments, and that to me, this is like a classic 90s family sitcom. So Fresh Prince it is.
And to Eddie's point, theme song. I want to talk about
great.
sitcom theme
Banger.
song.
All
Yeah.
time.
Maybe the number one ever. Like, it's crazy.
Right there.
Only one you're gonna hear at a bar.
Oh, that's a very good point. Nicky.
That's original too.
Yeah. Very.
It's not like the Rembrandts, you know.
Definitely not. Nicky?
I'm gonna go with Fresh Prince. I think they would show it on Nickelodeon like late
Yep.
at night when I was a kid.
Nick at Night. Yep.
I was always waking up to either George Lopez or the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, so I got to go with Prince. I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, Fresh Prince.
George Lopez with the show with the big ass heads on the intro, right?
I
Something
can
like that.
tell
Yeah.
you the most basic plot line of Community if you offered me all the money in the world.
You just never have seen the show?
Never seen it. I forgot it even existed. I like some of these guys though.
Yeah, no, it's a good cast.
It's a very funny show.
I just
So-
recently found out that Chevy Chase is like a noted grade A asshole. No one
Huge
works with
asshole.
him.
You just found
I
that
just
out?
found that out this weekend. I had no, but he plays all these guys in movies that they're like affable, like goofy dudes, and he's just a fuckhead.
Come on, dude.
Great
This
book
weekend?
recommendation.
This weekend, yeah.
Who
when I
told
was
you this
doing the,
weekend?
I think it was Corey.
What?
I'm pretty sure it was Corey. I didn't know
You-
that.
If you guys have
Yeah.
a chance, read Live from New York. It's an oral history about Saturday Night Live, and it
Yeah.
details in quite a few stories how much of a shithead
They're making
Chevy
a
Chase
movie
is.
based off
They
that, I
are,
believe,
yeah.
yeah?
It's a fantastic book. If I don't know if you guys read or not.
Yeah.
No.
Him
Bill
and Bill
Murray,
Murray,
like-
all both assholes. From what I
Yes,
remember,
and they
yeah.
got into a fight.
They fought each other.
They got into a huge fight. Chevy Chase made fun of Bill Murray's skin, and then Bill Murray made fun of Chevy Chase. Said you're a medium talent.
That's insane. I would not want to get in a diss fight with either of those two. Eddie?
Yeah, it's Fresh Prince. West Philadelphia, born and raised. Uncle Phil, Carlton. It's got the side characters too. It's Fresh Prince.
I had a little crush on Ashley Banks growing up too.
Yeah. Don't blame you. Now we have our last matchup of the day, number 2 seed versus 15 seed. 15 seed, instead of doing a traditional play-in, I decided we'll call it the Olds play-in. So it's all the Olds sitcoms. And this one was brought to you by the one and only Chris Klemmer, who made the entire list. So the Olds play-in, first option is The Honeymooners. I've seen a few episodes of The Honeymooners, like just the guy wants to beat up his wife. That's like kind of the crux of the entire show.
It's the first
Take a
sitcom. I felt
moon.
like I had to put that in there. It was like
Yeah.
the first real big hit sitcom.
Boom, pow, right to the moon. This guy wants to beat up his wife. I Love Lucy, obviously legendary. All in the Family, Family Ties, Cheers, and then Frasier, all on this list.
I did not include Frasier, by the way.
Frasier was just one. It was just like on the playing list, and I was like, this should be in the Olds playing list. So we'll start with you.
My bad. Random question: is Drake and Josh a sitcom?
Yeah, but I don't think it felt like they caught in the same spirit as this.
Yeah,
Okay.
Technically, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Eddie, which one of these old one would you want to go up against our number 2 seed?
Klemmer, I'm bummed because I've seen a lot more old ones than new ones. I'm a big Growing Pains guy. I'm a big Different Strokes guy.
Growing Pains is very funny.
Yeah, I like Growing.
That was like
Another
that
great
Yeah.
theme song
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, see-
great theme song.
Yeah. Mike Seaver. What was the last one you named, Kenjac?
The last one is Frasier.
Before that was Cheers.
I'm going to go Cheers. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to go Cheers.
That's totally fair. A legendary one. So one for Cheers. White Sox Dave.
I'm
Shout
going
out to the
based on
coach.
like what I remember watching with my dad. He loved Growing Pains and he loved Cheers. I'll go with Growing Pains.
It's not in it.
Growing Pains not on the
Oh, it's
list.
not in
Didn't
it.
make it.
Oh, I guess
Yeah.
I have to go Cheers then.
We could add Growing Pains. If you guys, if you're gonna have enough votes for Growing Pains,
I just missed. I almost included it.
Yeah. You guys want? We can add. You want to add in Growing
I
Pains? for you
won't
to vote
make
for
it complicated. I'll go with Cheers. I mean, Cheers, we're going to get shit on for not having it as like
Yeah.
a top 3 seed probably. I went to the Cheers bar a couple years ago and it smelled like absolute shit.
So not shocked by that. Nicky Smokes, have you seen any of these?
I haven't seen any of them. The only one I've heard of is Cheers, so I'll go with Cheers.
That's totally fair. Chief.
These are ones where it's like I've seen I've seen all of these, but I can't like remember a specific storyline or a moment or a line or anything like that. I really did enjoy watching Family Ties. I remember like Michael J. Fox was great. I remember liking that show, and I don't recall ever really watching Cheers, although I've seen it since, like episodes here and there. So I'll go Family Ties.
One for Family Ties. Clemmer.
Yeah, All in the Family I had to include in there just because it is a very important and great show. Everyone should at least watch a couple episodes. You can watch whenever.
That's Archie Bunker, right?
It is, and it's just watch a couple. They hold up today because a lot of social issues. It's a very good show. Family Ties, fantastic. Michael J. Fox got to start, but I'm gonna say right now you can make a very good case, and I really truly believe this is that Cheers is the best sitcom of all time.
That's what I'm saying.
And there was a 6-month period in 1993 before Friends, year before Friends, when you had Cheers and Seinfeld back to back on the same night in the same channel. 8:30 you had Seinfeld. 9 o'clock you had Cheers.
Two of the most iconic sitcoms of all time.
That was a crazy 6-month period. It was awesome, and even at being 13, I knew how special and important that was. Cheers is such a great show. If you haven't watched Cheers, please check it out. There's a lot of seasons I know.
I'm gonna
and the
watch
first
it
season
tonight.
it feels a little slow, but it's such a great show. Please check it out. And every single season is fantastic because halfway through they went through a casting change. Shelley Long to Kirstie Alley, and then Woody Harrelson came in. That's where he got his start, and it doesn't miss a beat. It is the greatest. If you like Ted Danson on Curb
Or Good Place or anything.
yeah, please check out Cheers. Please check out Cheers. It's the best.
Cheers is going to win, but Glenny?
So Cheers is done. Out of these, the one I've watched the most that I enjoy the most is All in the Family. I love watching All in the Family. Obviously, Archie Bunker and Rob Reiner's dynamic is funny stuff. I love his wife, so I'm just gonna go All in the Family, but it's over right now.
Love that.
Yeah.
What do you mean by you love his wife?
I don't even remember her name.
Edith. It's a great character. Edith
I
Bunker's
didn't know
great.
she was like an OnlyFans guest or not. I didn't know if you're talking
She's
to
like
the
99
character.
years
Yeah,
old.
she's
Yeah, these shows are from like decades ago.
But
Hey,
I've
man.
enjoyed All in the Family 3 times I've watched it. It's a funny show. The Sammy Davis Jr. episode is hilarious.
It's an all-timer. It's
Yeah.
an all-timer.
Yeah. So Cheers is going to be going up against our number 2 seed. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia versus Cheers. Brutal matchup, no matter which way you put it.
2 bars.
It's 2 bar shows. Set 2 different places. Both of them very politically incorrect, which make them funny and no. Cheers not politically incorrect. I'm thinking of All in the Family. I'm thinking Archie
All in the
Bunker,
Family.
sorry.
Yeah.
Always Sunny versus Cheers. Glenny Bowles.
Let me tell you, we're officially done with the entries, and we missed one I'm terrifyingly sad about. Eastbound and Down's not on here, and I'm really sad.
So I
about
went and I
Classic.
looked at it, and it was not technically considered a sitcom.
How is
How
Eastbound
is
and
that
Down
not
a sitcom?
It's considered a comedy drama show or something like that. Like it didn't
That's-
technically
That's
consider
the funniest show of all time. I'm just gonna say.
I would've
that.
had it.
Whoever you consulted for that is just
It
flat out
was
incorrect.
IMDb
I
and
don't know if
Wikipedia
it-
both.
I
I
don't know
double
if it's
checked.
the best sitcom of all time, but it's the funniest sitcom of all time, straight up. But
That
I'm gonna
first
go. I
season might
watched
be.
Powers, baby.
I watched It's Always Sunny for the first time. Probably about a year or so ago. I remember us discussing this, Dave. Always Sunny is fucking unbelievable.
They don't miss.
They
That's
never
versus
not
Frank
miss.
Reynolds. Is Frank Reynolds talking about his life on the tour boat when he seals the tour boat is one of the funniest things I've ever watched. I watch it sometimes just to laugh. I just watch that and just watch him laugh. And I don't even forget what he says. Nicky just says the way he says the word hooer.
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
Hooers.
And It's Always Sunny. It's unbelievable. I love Always Sunny.
So they've literally never missed on a season. It's
No,
crazy to be
they're-
running this long
And
and not
they're
miss.
on like 20 something, right?
It's fucking crazy how far they
took
they're in.
Right.
So one for It's Always Sunny, Klemmer.
This sucks. So I know. So It's Always Sunny to me is a top 5 all-time sitcom. I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It is hysterical. It's very funny. I'm guessing it's probably going to go on a long run here. The idea that we're Cheers get knocked out here, kind of in the first round, is a real shame. But I'm going to go with Cheers, and I know it's going to lose.
One for Cheers, Chief.
I gotta go Always Sunny. Like you guys were saying, it hasn't missed in 20 years. It kind of has like that Seinfeld vibe where every episode is like completely unique unto itself, and how they continually come up, and even they can like regurgitate or reuse some of the same themes, like the gun control thing, and
Yeah.
they just somehow, even though it's like they're not repeating jokes, they're repeating the storyline. It's still like that second time they do it, it's still just as funny or funnier. Like it's a perfect sitcom to me.
It was funny. I remember we interviewed Matt Shackman, who like directed, I think, like 4 or 5 seasons of it or something in the middle, and he was saying how like the Charlie McDennis episode with the board game.
Yep.
Like that episode was like a throwaway episode because they had no more money left in their budget because they spent it all on doing other shit, and they're like,
Yeah.
we just needed to fill time with an episode, and it was like the funniest episode of television for like
Yeah.
that entire year. That's how good that show is. That throwaway episode could be
The
that
trial about the spilled milk in the car
my
is like one of
God.
my favorite episodes of TV ever. I think it's an incredible show.
Mac and Dennis in the suburbs, just like
Yep.
all time funny shit, dude. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Quiggs just tweeted a picture of Mintzy taking a phone call in the middle of the street. So I hope he's okay.
Maybe it's
Really
the doctor.
sick. Yeah. Prayers for Mintzy. Hashtag.
Prayers up for Mintzy. Nicky Smokes.
I'm gonna go with Always Sunny. I mean, you guys pretty much hit everything on the head. I'm probably the most unqualified person to be talking about any TV show or sitcom, but I haven't seen Cheers, so I'm just gonna go with Always
Cheers
Sunny.
is before my time even.
Yeah, it's before everyone here but
Yeah.
Connors,
It
basically.
came out in 91, right?
Dave,
Or ended in 91?
Sounds about right.
Cheers
So,
out
like-
in 93.
93.
Like Ball said, I over the last handful of years recently started Always Sunny. I don't think I've ever laughed harder in my entire life than when whose dad got released from prison?
Max.
Mac's dad got released from prison, and they tried to stage their own suicide. And when they drove the car into that brick wall, it was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The scream.
It's always D's car that they fuck up too.
Always Sweet D, yeah. There was one other scene where I knew this was my TV show. And the first few episodes or seasons rather, it's like I'm like, how did they get away with
The
it?
underage drinking bar.
The first
That
episode is the
underage
gang gets
drinking-
racist.
So they're talking. It's just flat out racist, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're talking. The bar's struggling. They're figuring out how to improve revenue, and they're like, all right, what if we start letting underagers in? And they're like, oh, can't do that. But what if we take their keys? What if we limit them to 2 drinks? And they're like rationalizing why they should do it. The next scene, it's not like an 18 or 19-year-old. It's legitimately, he's a little black kid that's like 10 years old. He's grabbing 4 pints of beer off the bar, just like any of us would, to bring to the fellas, and he throws them down on the. It's perfect TV.
Right, is that the same
perfect
episode when
TV.
Charlie, like, they treat it like a prom and Charlie
Yeah,
gets mad?
yeah.
And Charlie gets mad when the girl leaves him for like her high school boyfriend.
Her actual high school boyfriend.
It's I haven't finished the last few seasons yet.
Neither have I, but
it might be the funniest TV I've ever seen.
I've also don't think I've ever seen an episode live.
I've never
Yeah.
yeah.
I never have. I mean,
Always after the
also,
fact.
just this just popped in my head too. One of the funniest things ever is Frank Reynolds' Little Angels.
Oh, yeah.
It's all like bloody and extra creepy looking at that. Yeah.
Dude, sneaky, very funny thing is Dee's impressions. Every time she has to do an impression of being like exceedingly racist. Like when they ask her, they ask Dennis
Barack
does like,
Obama.
yeah, Dennis does like the CCH pounder and it's like amazing. And she's like, okay, I'll do Barack Obama. What's up with Congress, y'all? And they're like, that's nothing like Obama. It's so fucking funny.
So good.
So you're doing something that I hate. You're doing Curb and Sunny right now.
I mean, they're
I feel like
easy
you got
to
to power
do.
through though. You got to finish one and then after the next.
You can
With those two, you can
can
do
hop.
It. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
hop.
because you can pick up an episode in season 8 and go back to season 2 and go.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the same as Seinfeld. Whatever is on TBS when you're scrolling through the
I've
channels.
never watched Seinfeld on a streaming. I've never watched Seinfeld other than when it's on TBS or Fox or whatever
Yeah.
station. I've never watched it on anything other than cable TV.
See, I've only seen it on Netflix.
Seinfeld. Well,
The Office, or-
that's very millennial of you.
Yeah.
Seinfeld. Great show.
Gen
by the way.
Z.
Great show.
Eddie, I'm assuming you're going Always Sunny.
Klemmer, I'm going with Klemmer. I'm going Cheers, baby.
Wow.
Let's go.
Did you watch Always
go.
Sunny?
Norm? No.
Yeah.
It's Always Sunny is fantastic. This is not like me
It's
picking Cheers. Is not at all. It's Always Sunny is brilliant.
Yeah.
Cheers has just got the. It's not that
Cheers
Always
is,
Sunny.
Cheers
does it.
low key though, like it holds up. That's still good.
No, it
like,
does,
If
yeah.
you watch Cheers, like people will enjoy it.
Yeah,
I think that's on Netflix now too, right?
I believe it
think
is.
It
Right.
was. I know it was. I got the DVD. Well, I have a whole physical media rant. I'll save it for later
Who's
on in the
the
bracket.
bigger guy in Cheers? That was
Norm?
Postman, right? Was it,
Well, because
or
Cliff is the postman to know it all, and then
Okay,
Norm
that was
is
it,
the is
yeah.
like his buddy who
Yeah.
who
That
just
was
sits at the
it.
bar and drinks.
Either way, It's Always Sunny is going to move on. Before we get into our playoffs, let's hear from ZocDoc. I just used ZocDoc to do all of my annuals. All of them got set up. Got like a triple teeth cleaning, which was not fun because I had not done the dentist since COVID, which was don't do that. Don't wait that many years. It's pain. We all know that there are things in life that you have to compromise on, but when it comes to your health, there is no compromise. ZocDoc is the free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. Once you find a doctor you want, you can book them immediately, so no more waiting awkwardly on hold with a receptionist. And all these doctors have verified reviews from actual real patients. We're talking about booking appointments with tens of thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed, credible doctors and specialists. You can filter your specifically for ones that take your insurance, which is awesome, by the way, and you just take a picture of your insurance card. They do it for you. That are located near you and treat basically any condition you're searching for. Typical wait time is 24 to 74 hours. That's it. And you can score same-day appointments, too, which is great. Again, just use them for all my annuals and dentist and all that shit. It was awesome. Go to ZocDoc.com/lights and download the ZocDoc app for free. And find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/lights. ZocDoc.com/lights. All right, playoff time. First matchup, Curb Your Enthusiasm versus Friends. Woof. Eddie.
I mean, it's not that hard for me. I'm sure it's a lot harder for you guys, but I'm gonna go with Curb.
One for Curb Your Enthusiasm. Did you not watch a lot of Friends? I forget.
No, not really.
Or Curb, right?
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm useless. I don't know what to say.
I'm
Glenny, filling in. Kenjac was in a bind. I'm like, sure.
Can you tell? Am I right correctly? I think Phoebe has a string of or they all have crazy hot boyfriends, right? Like actors that went on, like Paul Rudd and like Brad Pitt and shit.
Brad Pitt was a fat guy in high school that made an I Hate Rachel club with Ross to hate Rachel, never dated Rachel. Phoebe, she doesn't really have that many boyfriends in the show. She dated Michael Rappaport.
I do remember that. He was a cop, right?
She marries Paul Rudd. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I'm trying to think off the top of my head her boyfriend. She dated Hank Azaria was her like main love interest in like season 2, and then he comes back when she's gonna marry Paul Rudd. So I
feel like there's a lot of guests. Julia Roberts was in.
Julia Roberts episode.
Well, yeah, because Matthew Perry and her were dating.
Yeah, she was in an episode of Matthew Perry. She was like mean to Matt. She was mean to Chandler as when they were kids, and then she saw him in person, and, like started dating, brought him to a restaurant, made him start to have sex in the bathroom, and then she left him naked in the bathroom. So there's a bunch
this
of
guest list is fucking
Robin Williams
crazy.
Episode. Yeah, there's a bunch of
Reese Witherspoon, Ben Stiller, Charlie Sheen, Billy Crystal.
Charlie Sheen, yeah, he dated Phoebe in an episode. I forgot about that. He was like a Navy pilot, like a Navy guy that was home. Bruce Willis dated Rachel.
Brooke Shields, Christina Applegate, Winona Ryder.
Joey fan. Winona Ryder dated. Who did Winona Ryder date?
Sean Penn.
She was fucking. She had made out with Rachel in college.
Gary Oldman was in episodes of this.
Gary Oldman Joey was on a World War I movie, and Gary Oldman was a screen partner. But he played a different guy.
Okay.
He got fucked up one day, and he made Joey late for Monica and Chandler's wedding.
John Lovitz, Danny DeVito, Penn.
DeVito plays a stripper in season 9.
Charlton Heston was in an episode of Friends.
Charlton Heston
the
was
fuck
in
was
an episode
happening?
of Friends, yep.
It was the biggest comedy on TV.
I know, but still, it's just crazy to see that guest list is.
They had a Super Bowl
absolutely
episode that had like massive stars in it.
insane. That's nuts. Dave, Curb or Friends?
Curb all day.
Curb all day. Nicky Smokes, you haven't seen either of these yet.
No, I've seen Friends. I love Friends. There's probably 2 shows that I've seen where after I finished watching them, I felt a piece of me die inside, and that's Friends and The Office. I just think Friends' concept is perfect. It's just a bunch of, like, you're just living with your best friends, chilling in a coffee shop. It's got to be Friends. I love Friends. Big
one
fan.
for Friends. Chief?
Curb. This is like a runaway. This is like when like the 8 seed sneaks through and then the UConn beats them by 40.
Klemmer?
Couldn't agree more with Chief. Yeah. It's Curb.
Glenny?
I know it's Devin. I'm going Friends. Friends is a special place in my heart. I do think I often say this a lot about just different shows and even movies. I do think best and funniest is a different thing.
Sure, yeah.
I think Curb is funnier than Friends, but I think Friends is a better show.
That's fine. I don't think that's...
I gotta say before, I love how Friends is, there's all their storylines throughout the 10 seasons.
Sure.
And I also really do find Friends funny. Like, I think Joey is right up my alley of humor. It's very dumb humor.
And I think that Chandler was like one of the first, like, the sarcasm humor guy. I feel like that really took off.
Like, just Joey's dumb. I always say one of my favorite Joey moments of all time. Monica lies to Chandler, and Chandler has that she had to have a bachelorette party, so then she gives Chandler a fake bachelor party, and she's like, "All right, I'm going to give you we're going to call you stripper. It's going to be a fake bachelor party." And Chandler tells Ross and Joey, "Do not cancel plans for this fake bachelor party." And then you just hear Joey on the phone, "Sorry, baby, I got to cancel plans tonight." I just think that's so funny, just such stupid humor. That's right up my alley. So I'm going to stick with Friends. It's probably my favorite show ever.
Curb's going to move on. Now we have Seinfeld versus Parks and Rec. I don't even know if you have to vote on this, but
yeah,
Seinfeld, Chief.
Yep.
Seinfeld.
I don't even know. Yeah, that's one where that's. But now we have Seinfeld versus Curb Your Enthusiasm. So,
this is exciting.
This is the father and son going at it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very interesting. This Seinfeld versus Curb Your Enthusiasm. You're up first, Eddie.
Can someone like make some arguments and I could make a judgment call here?
Oh yeah,
there's no way Curb Your Enthusiasm exists without Seinfeld.
That's the argument right there. Seinfeld walked so Curb could run.
Yes.
But Curb is running.
It's sprinting.
But Curb also has the easier like the bumpers when you're bowling. It's easier because you don't have to worry about sensors. Like Seinfeld had to do it on NBC. Like
I don't think that they should get
difficulty.
points for that.
Yeah, I don't think you get
Why?
proactive points.
It's so much harder. You had to be so much more clever and more and more subversive.
I got a dumb
They had
question.
an episode about masturbation. They never said the word masturbation.
There's a contest.
Yeah, that is true. That was great.
Yeah.
Are you master of your own domain?
I like they did an episode describing their own show and like pitching it to a network in one of the episodes.
A whole
The
season.
whole season.
Yeah, like it's a
season
show about
4.
nothing, and like that's what it is.
everything.
But
That's what Curb is too, though. It's nothing. There's no plot.
All right, so I might have this off, but like there was there a script for Seinfeld?
Yes.
Yeah.
A
You can
heavily
look. You can
crafted
Google the
script.
scripts. Yes.
Okay.
A heavily.
So-
Yes.
Jerry, how it worked was every weekend, Jerry and Larry David would lock themselves in a room for for 48 hours and write the script.
Okay.
That's how every weekend
crazy.
was.
So Klemmer, does Curb get points for not having a script?
No, I don't think so.
There's
I
no
mean,
script?
I think Larry David's so brilliant. I will say Curb. Seinfeld has some great characters. Frank Costanza. I will give Curb the edge, having more like funnier like extra characters like Funkhauser, Richard Lewis. We haven't even mentioned some of the
There's
people.
so many. About Newman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I mean.
And we haven't even mentioned Kramer. I mean, obviously he's not a side
He's-
character.
right,
but Kramer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Kramer's
Curb
also
didn't
one of the
have a
funniest-
script.
No.
Even,
was
even like
just a
Crazy
one-
Joe
just
Davola
like-
is
Haven't
funny.
even mentioned
Crazy
George.
Joe. Yeah.
Oh God, it's crazy Joe Davola.
Yeah, but there's also these in Curb too, like even like a Mocha Joe, or even like
Yeah.
Michael Richards' episode of Curb is so fucking funny. It's like hysterical.
It's very
Yeah.
funny, but it's all like I said, kind of like saying
Even like Julie Dreyfus and what's his name,
Brad Hall.
Alexander, and like all of them, like their episodes of Curb are hysterical too. They're
Don't
very,
they
very
say
funny.
though that like
Yeah.
every issue in Seinfeld now would be fine because of their cell phones?
Well, they were always kind of rolling. But like, I don't know if this happens in Curb yet, but what I appreciate about Seinfeld, especially in the later seasons, is they would satirize. Did I?
I don't know.
That's good.
I don't
That was
know.
good.
Is that correct?
Nailed it.
Satirize. No,
Nailed
I
it.
know what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Different things going on in the world. So
Yes.
O.J. Simpson's hot in the news right now. How they did that, like the Zapruder film with Keith Hernandez.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
brilliantly written. Brilliantly written.
Nice game, pretty boy.
Yeah. And
Yeah, to answer your question, Curb does that as well.
okay.
Yeah, like that whole like, you
not
talked about.
not
yeah.
as well as Seinfeld. I don't.
I mean the whole black family.
the Katrina stuff. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the characters are so funny in both shows. I feel like it's almost a wash, and I know it's hard to say that when you're like, oh,
there was a
Newman
second
character.
spitter.
There's so many fucking funny characters. Even like Susie Green alone, I think is one of the funniest sitcom characters.
I was told this Leon Cat, who I haven't been introduced
Yeah.
to yet, is basically the Kramer. Of
JB
Curb.
Smooth. Oh yeah.
Can
Yeah,
I
I'd
make
say-
one more point for Seinfeld that we've talked about in the show so far? Is that importance in culture? Seinfeld was so much bigger in culture than Curb
That's a fact.
ever was.
But that's also a network thing.
I understand, but that's still a fact. Like before Friends, Seinfeld was the biggest comedy.
But I feel
on
like if we're
television.
gonna give Seinfeld points for having to work within the confines of a network, we also have to give it like an overdue credit for it being on the network. Like that was the benefit of it. No.
Yeah, there's nothing else to watch.
I got a
well, no,
dumb
that's
question.
just not true. Though there was other stuff like that. They were
Not
there were
the
other-
way
like,
it is now.
No,
like,
we still
the
had
way,
cable. You still had like other channels. It wasn't like it was like 1970 had 3 channels.
Klemmer, if you're watching TV now, you're up against everything that ever existed.
It's different now for sure. But I'm just saying it's not like 1973 when you had literally 3 channels. You still had a full array of cable
I still think it's much harder to carve out an audience now.
without question.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But also, it started before Curb did anyway. It started before streaming. But it's also just, I think the fact that it is so pervasive and it was on a premium network at a time before premium networks are more, I guess, accessible in a way.
People still quote Seinfeld today. That is amazing.
I guess, I mean, people use fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm gifts every second. Like,
But Seinfeld came out a decade earlier. Like this is the oldest show still on this, other than Fresh Prince, the oldest show on this bracket. And I think they debuted
yeah.
the same year.
yeah. Well, either way, Eddie, how you feeling so far?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, 1 for Seinfeld. Dave?
It's Seinfeld for me. It's part of who I am. It's part of the fabric of my being. I
Nicky?
steal Seinfeld jokes all the time, and the jokes that I steal are so subtle that like only the true diehards really get them.
I always think about subtlety when I think of White Sox Dave. Let's do 10 and hand in hand. Nicky,
I'm gonna go Seinfeld.
another for Seinfeld. Chief?
This is like a Sophie's Choice moment, but I think I'm gonna go Curb, and I think it was like the walk so Curb could run, and I do think like Curb is, if Seinfeld's the Wright brothers playing, this is like an F-16. Like it's that much funnier. It's like they had a platform to build upon with Seinfeld, and I do think like I love when like the cameo people like play themselves, like John Hamm in his little bits in Curb. It's later seasons, so fucking funny. So I think Curb. If I had only one show to watch for the rest of my life, I had to choose between the two. Curb is gonna make me laugh harder than Seinfeld, so I'm going Curb.
It's so fair though. And
And I love both. They're both in my top 3.
did you guys
sitcoms.
watch a finale of Curb?
Yes.
Yes.
Did they stick the landing?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay,
Big
they
time.
not in Seinfeld.
They did
Yes.
not. I agree
They
with that.
did not.
I
agree.
kinda
thought
poke
that
fun at
ending got too much hate.
It got
They
too.
poke fun of that too in Curb,
Yeah,
by the way.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ending of Curb, they
I
poke
can't
fun
wait
at
to
this.
rifle through the rest of this
Yeah.
20 seasons I got left.
And by the way, another actor that plays himself that's hysterical in Curb, Ben Stiller is so fucking
Stiller.
funny in
Oh,
Curb.
he's great.
so good in that.
Yeah.
Does Jerry make it? Jerry Stiller make
They-
an appearance?
Oh wait,
Jerry
Jerry.
Stiller. I don't
think so. Not that I remember.
But Jerry Seinfeld. So I think it's season 8 of Curb. They basically redo kind of the finale in a way of Seinfeld. So Julia Louis-Dreyfus, all the main characters are back and they all have. I think they probably appeared like 5 or 6 times.
She's already made an appearance in an episode or 2 that I've watched, and I'm like through a season and a half. It's
So
when.
Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
Nah, nothing.
So what's the vote now? 2-2?
Right now it's 3-1 in favor
3-1.
of Seinfeld.
Okay.
Klemmer?
Chief, you said if there's one show you could watch right now, you would choose Curb or watch the rest of your life. On
Yeah,
the
if I
flip
had-
side, I'll frame it this way: if I had to have one show removed from my life, I would prefer that to be Curb. I cannot imagine Seinfeld removed from my life. I think someone said it's like a part of them, and I feel that way about Seinfeld. It's Seinfeld for me.
Seinfeld.
That was an amazing way to say it.
That was very.
Poetic.
very
I
eloquent.
can't imagine my life without Seinfeld. And I'm with you. I'm going Seinfeld. I do. Curb is so god. There's just some peaks of Curb that is so fucking funny. Like in high school, me and my friends, we literally all bought the shirts in season 8, the Mr. Softy episode, when they are playing softball in Central Park, and we all had those uniforms. With Yari, that's like my favorite Curb episode of all time. But like when he's just yelling, "I'm the Steinbrenner, I'm the Steinbrenner," I think that's so goddamn funny. But speaking of Steinbrenner, one character in Seinfeld that I think is one of the funniest characters, I don't even see him, is Larry playing Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
Yep.
You never see his face.
I'm going
George.
Seinfeld.
How could you trade Jay Buhner? He's got a rocket of an arm. You don't know what the hell you're doing.
Seinfeld moving into the finals. Before we get to the other half of the bracket, let's talk about Rocket
kid's
Money.
dead.
Do you find any subscriptions that you forgot about or that you paid for twice and didn't realize it? I mentioned every time we do a Rocket Money ad, I found that with a Microsoft charge for Xbox Live. I hadn't had an Xbox in 3-ish years. I was paying them like $16.98, a weird number for like 3 years. And just didn't know how to cancel. I tried calling them, couldn't figure it out, and I was just lazy to the point of not figuring it out. Rocket Money figured it out for me. It is the personal finance app that finds and cancels the unwanted subscriptions you have, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. With Rocket Money, you can have full control of your subscriptions and a clear view of your expenses. You can see all your subscriptions in one place. And if you see something you don't want, Rocket Money can help you cancel with just a few taps. It's great how the dashboard can show you my month's spending compared to last month, so that you can clearly see your spending habits. Plus, they'll help you create a custom budget and help you keep your spending on track. Rocket Money will even help negotiate your bills for you by up to 20%. All you have to do is submit a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They have over 5 million users and have saved over a total of $500 million since the canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. So stop wasting money on things that you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/lights. That's rocketmoney.com/lights. rocketmoney.com/lights.
I actually
Okay.
downloaded that 2 weeks ago.
I've been a Rocket Money user.
Big fan.
Yeah, it's a great app.
Yeah.
Highly
I totally
recommend.
agree.
Not even kidding. I use it very regularly.
Yep. Shout out to Rocket Money. All right. Other side of the bracket, The Office versus Veep. Very interesting matchup. Again, this comes down to, I think, watchability for a lot of, or accessibility maybe for a lot of this too. Glenny Balls. Start with you.
Like I said, my last Office pick was really just out of respect to The Office. I have watched a few episodes of Veep. I've watched most of The Office. I have watched a few episodes of Veep, and I thought Veep was great. I'm going to go with Veep.
1 for Veep.
The Office is so good. I'm taking it, even though Robert California was a character. So it's
James
The Office.
Spader? I think he was.
Yeah, those episodes are so shitty.
I think Will
so
Ferrell was worse than
awful.
James Spader. I think
The
James
whole
Spader.
those last 2 seasons are. It's like watching Patrick Ewing when he was on. What was he on
The Magic?
On the Magic, yeah. It's just
Seattle.
so sad. Yeah, it's The Office for me.
1 for The Office. Chief.
This is another coin flip one for me, but The Office is just such a behemoth that I feel like it would be silly to take Veep. So I'm going with The Office.
2 for The Office. Nicky Smokes.
Yeah, I mean, The Office literally had my eyes watering on like the last episode, so I'm going with The Office. I love that show. more
Like
than
crying
anything.
because you're sad it's over.
Yeah, and like Jim and Pam just finally get together, and you see Michael come back after not being there for. It was just such a beautiful moment.
I was crying those last 2 seasons too.
They're making a new one. I
What
think,
is
right?
wrong with you, people?
Robert California.
Continue. I'll go The Office.
Office.
Office is going to win. Dave and Eddie for The Office as well. On the other side, It's Always Sunny versus The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Interesting one. Eddie?
So I've seen more Fresh Prince. Obviously, I haven't seen any Sunny, but I don't know. Would it be sacrilegious to take Sunny? I kind of feel like
If you haven't seen it, you got to go with what you've seen.
Yes.
Yeah, but I do feel like Glenny said, it's more like about what's a better show versus what's like fun. Like
Did you enjoy Fresh Prince?
I enjoyed it, yes, but like I haven't seen Sunny. The way people talk about it, there's just simply no way. It's better than as a sitcom. There's no way as far as funniness factor.
All right, so we're going to give you one for It's Always Sunny then. Dave?
Always Sunny.
Another for It's Always Sunny?
I think that if I took the nostalgia, because I grew up watching, like, sprinting home from school, watching Simpsons, Seinfeld, whatever else, Malcolm in the Middle. Seinfeld's, like, part of me. Always Sunny isn't. I think, like, in a vacuum, Always Sunny is probably the funniest television show I've ever watched. So
It's one in the Chief thing where I'm like, if I had a show I could just watch that one show for the rest of my life, it would probably be It's Always Sunny. I could watch like a trillion times over.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, I don't think I've ever laughed harder than that car crash scene. Like in any moment, joke, TV show, with my, like, I think that's the hardest I've ever laughed.
The scream that Charlie lets out when the car hits the wall is so fucking funny, dude.
It's so good.
Nicky?
I'm going to go with Always Sunny as well.
Always Sunny. Chief?
Yeah, this is an easy one for me. So Always Sunny.
Always Sunny.
Let me get my soapbox real quick about something. So this pisses me off. So It's Always Sunny is one of the most brilliant comedies of all time, right? We all agree on that. Do you know on the streaming service it's on right now, they've removed episodes? There's
Hulu?
like 7 episodes you cannot find, including the Lethal Weapon ones. They've taken
The
those
blackface
off.
ones?
And that is a damn shame. That's why people should go out and buy physical media. I can't emphasize this enough. I have Sopranos. I have a bunch of Cheers. I have a bunch of these shows on physical media because then you control it. We should not let these corporations control what we watch. This is absolute bullshit. It's not funny. It's censorship. I know you're laughing, but one day your favorite movie is going to be removed, your favorite thing, and then the only way you're going to be able to get it, if you don't have physical media, you're fucked.
I'm only laughing because I'm reading the It's Always Sunny Reddit, which just said that they reversed that, and they just put them back on pretty recently.
That's fine. But it proves that they did it in the first place is bullshit, and they'll do it again. And
I agree, Clemmer. Preach,
get
Clemmer.
physical media.
Preach,
if you
Clemmer.
truly
Attaboy,
love
Clem.
something, go get physical media because it's the only way you can truly control it. If you believe corporations have our good intentions and consider art to be sacred and real, you are misguided. Corporations are evil, and it is such bullshit. It's Always Sunny is a very important show because it's so funny and so brilliant, and it should be. How dare they take that off?
I totally agree, Clemmer. I'm going to say it's another one for It's Always Sunny.
I think that should clip that. Clip that out.
It's all
That's
politics.
tough enough, though. They're not going to be able to do that anymore soon either. So
I think the only
You're
one I
fucked.
have is Everybody Loves Raymond. I don't know why, but I
there's-
just love that show.
they're stopping physical media. So
Are they?
They're trying. Best Buy just removed all of the DVDs from their shelves. I am furious. I buy a physical media every single week. I buy a different movie that I care about.
Hell yeah.
Because I'll have that, and yeah, I got 40 more years left in this fucking planet, and then I'm dead. But as long as I have my shit for the next 40 years, it's all I care about. I do not trust these companies.
Fair enough. Glenny? Tough to follow that one up.
I'm gonna go with Fresh Prince after that. No, sorry.
It's Always Sunny. He's going to move
They've
on.
removed a couple episodes of Fresh Prince too.
Have they really?
No, I'm joking.
I was going to say, I don't know which ones they would think they would do.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Will does whiteface? As it refers to the ones where they did blackface and It's Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny versus The Office to go into the finals. Tough one. Glenny?
Tough one for you, easy for me. Always Sunny by far. I really do feel like I owe an Office rewatch just to maybe watch it again. I think I've formed a lot in 9 years since the last time I watched it. But we've been Always Sunny is so goddamn funny. It's Always Sunny by a billion.
I think It's Always Sunny should have the zealot fan base that The Office has. Like the way people talk about The Office is the way they should talk about It's Always Sunny. At least in my opinion. Clemmer?
Yeah, this is. I guess we're just in that. What are the final 4 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, all these shows are gonna be great. I feel bad for picking against The Office, but I have to go. It's Always Sunny here. But man, like, there's no wrong answer here. It's like William Hayes or Mickey Mantle. Like, what are
Also,
we doing?
2 Pennsylvania shows.
That's a good
Look
point.
at Pennsylvania.
There you
How
go.
about that?
Hey.
Great sitcom state, I guess. Chief?
Yeah, I don't know. This is probably an unpopular position, but when I'm scrolling through, I am never like, even if it's cable or whatever, I never stop on The Office. And I love The Office, but I feel like in terms of things that I want to rewatch, I will rewatch episodes of Always Sunny 4 or 5 times, and like laugh just as hard every single time. I don't quite, for whatever reason, it's probably a personal thing, don't feel that way about The Office. Like, I've seen it, I enjoyed it, I'd never go back to it. So this one was an easy one for me too. I think Always Sunny is a step above.
Oh, and not to keep harping on blooper reels, but It's Always Sunny. Some of the funniest blooper reels
I'm
you'll
sure,
ever
yeah.
watch. Ever. Holy shit, they're so good. Nicky?
I'm going to go with The Office just because I've seen it more, but just based off what you guys have said about It's Always Sunny, I feel like I need to watch it through and
It's
through.
your show.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't
It's your
watched it
show.
through and through. Like, I've picked certain episodes based on, people telling me, hey, watch this episode, and I've seen it. It is hysterical, so I do need to watch it from episode 1 to whatever the fuck they finish at, but just out of my love for The Office, I'll go The Office.
The gang
Always Sunny.
set Sweet D on fire. I just remembered the one where like they're what do you call it? It's like they're the news crew or whatever, and just keep setting her on fire to the story. So another one for It's Always Sunny from White Sox Dave, Eddie.
Office.
Yeah,
Damn.
one for The Office. Sorry, Eddie or Dave, you're saying?
It was always originally, or it's always been on FX no matter what, right? It never switched.
Yeah.
They put
okay.
when they started a new network, FXX, they put it on there. I don't know if it's still on there or what, but
think
yeah.
it
What was
might
the
be.
story like? The first season had just awful ratings, and they were like worried it's going to get canceled. And they're like, "No, we're not canceling. In fact, we're going to get you guys an A-lister to like compliment what we love about what you guys are doing." And that's when they went and got Frank, I guess.
I think they didn't want Danny DeVito either when they first
Right.
the studio first suggested it, and then they met him and like, oh, this guy rocks.
Yeah, I
like
think his
it's perfect.
kids were a
Yes.
fan, they said.
That was it.
But yeah, and I believe if I recall correctly, when they did FXX, they made the league on there as well. And then now I think it's only on. I don't think it was it on TV this year? I think it's only on streaming now.
Maybe I'm not
I
sure.
think it was only on streaming. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was.
But and by the way, just to throw some flowers, like everyone knows, like HBO is like the best like kind of purveyor of television, but FX is right there. FX has some of the best shows out of any of the carriers you're gonna find. I think.
What else we got?
Buddy? I'm about to go show you.
What was that spy show?
The Americans.
The Americans. The first season of the Americans was
Very
fucking
good.
They have,
outstanding
was
television.
Psych on FX?
Psych was TBS,
And
I
that girl
think?
was so hot.
I think Sons was FX, right?
Sons,
Oh,
Sons was
Sons
FX.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just. I want to go through the full list so I don't forget anything. The Americans, The Shield was FX. Great show.
That was their first one, right? That and Nip Tuck were like their first ones.
Atlanta, great show. Justified, great show. It's Always Sunny, like we were just talking about. Let's go down. What We Do in the Shadows is hysterical. The Bear, obviously
Well,
crushing
the Bear
it.
is fantastic.
Shogun has been crushing it.
Overrated
American Crime
show.
Story. Yeah, Fargo.
I've never watched a single second of the
American Horror Story.
I just finished season 1 of American Horror Story.
Fargo, amazing show.
Fargo's good.
Let's keep going down. Wow, they have a lot of different Justified spin-offs. Archer was on FX.
Fire.
Bas-
Justified was a good show. That's with Timothy Olyphant,
Yes,
I
sir.
believe. Yeah, that was a good
Baskets
show.
on FX.
Baskets was FX. Sons, like
Oh,
you're
Louis
talking
was
about.
on FX.
Louis. I
Sons?
worked on Louis. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I was a grip on Louis.
How did you like when watching him masturbate?
I didn't do that episode. I
Okay.
did the Robin Williams episode
know if
and a
you
Chris
wa-
Rock
yeah.
episode.
Okay.
Didn't have to watch him jerk off.
Wait, hold on. Talk. What do you mean you did?
I was a grip. Like I was like you work on like the crew.
So
I
was
on
he.
the crew.
Oh,
yeah,
so you're
that's also-
holding
he
like
was a
the
gripper,
big
too.
boom mic or something?
I wasn't. No, that was you had to be way higher qualified to do that. I was just like putting shit up on walls and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All crap
That's still
work.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. We met Robin Williams at Forum Cemetery like a month before he died or something. It's really
Oh, wow.
bizarro.
Oh, really? That's
nice
very
guy.
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, really weird. Well, yeah, super nice. Just very hard to recognize it was him because he had this big ass beard and stuff. It was weird. Either way, It's Always Sunny. Moving on, and again, shout out to FX, one of the crazy good network. Oh, and also I almost forgot the Great, which is a very good show.
The what?
The Great is also on.
I've never seen. I don't know what this is. Do I know what this is?
Or maybe like it was no, that was Hulu. So It's Always Sunny versus Seinfeld. This
Is this the finals?
this is the finals. What is the best sitcom of
man.
all time? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or Seinfeld. This is, I think, very
Both have 3 guys and a
and a girl.
girl. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Right. Like.
Primarily, yeah.
Yes.
Always Sunny definitely pulled a lot of their style from Seinfeld.
Yes.
I would agree.
Definitely. Like
so let's
referenced
start
it.
with you, Eddie. It's Always Sunny or Seinfeld.
I'm gonna go with. I'm trying to look around the
He's
room
never watched
and
either
think
of them.
about who I know is gonna go with where.
Can we do that? Can we have him guess?
Guess as in
Like what we're
who's
going
gonna
to
guess where? Okay, yeah. No.
I'm gonna
what do you-
guess Sonny because I think it'll need the vote to make it interesting, and I'm gonna get the hell out of your guys' way with my Tony Snell-like performance. So
0.0 rebounds. This is so. I'm gonna go Seinfeld, but like to Balls' point earlier, like Seinfeld's a part of me, and it's I think maybe a better show, but not funnier. Obviously, the peaks of, I mean, they canceled shows, literally canceled episodes because of how racy and whatever it got. It. Oh man, this is fucking so hard.
Really hard.
I'm going Seinfeld because I grew up with it and nostalgia plays for me.
One
But
for
this is
Seinfeld.
like an impossible question.
We're 1-1 right now. Nicky,
I'm gonna go Seinfeld as well. I just seen more of it.
seen more of it. You would love It's Always Sunny. Like they were saying,
Yeah,
they were dead
it's-
on. You would
you
love
Like
it.
once we're done here, I'm going home and I'm just watching it.
Start it. Just start it.
The Gang Gets Racist is the first one, right? Where like they hire the guy to like help promote the bar to black people. I think
That was like the second or third episode I
Oh, okay.
The
Oh,
gang
and that's
goes
where, like-
America all over your asses. Like there's so I'm going. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
I think I'm going Sunny. They have more longevity. I think that should matter. Maybe not in episodes, actually, but for seasons. Just like the way that they completely.
It's closer than you think.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, because like the
this
Seinfeld
point.
had 22, 23 episodes a season, where Sunny has like 10, 12.
Yeah, also Jerry
Yeah, I
could have
thi-
still been making seasons right now if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I think It's Always Sunny though has more episodes now though. It's been on for so long.
Yeah, and I feel like they're 10 to. I think they might have some seasons with as many as 16 episodes too, and yeah, I just the way they over time they just completely change the Mac character. You know, they make him jacked, they make him fat, they make him gay, they make him, you know, like they have all these like ridiculous avenues that they go down, and it still crushes and kills and works. Like you're not like attached to the character. Like if Kramer somehow came in and was like, "No, Kramer's gay now," it'd be like, "Oh, like that's a weird move." But
Mac,
when they
he is
make
kinda
Matt
gay.
gay, they're like, "All right, whatever." Like he's gay, you know. And it's just like, and it's like another funny little like rabbit hole storyline that they go for a few seasons, and so
We haven't even talked about the waitress storyline.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
I mean,
so good.
It's,
which is his real life wife.
I
too.
know.
Yeah,
That's the funniest part about it.
Yeah.
Is like they're actually in love, but he's
Yeah.
just trying to connive and weasel his way into her pants and
Not
she
even
always
connive and weasel, just straight up stalk.
Yep.
and they never even give her a name. She's just a
The
waitress.
waitress, yeah, and then they all fuck her.
Yeah, everyone fucked her except for Charlie.
And Charlie Day's real wife.
Yeah, it's really
the funniest part.
Yeah, dude, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
so and then like just the way that Dennis does rage funnier on TV than anybody I've ever seen. Like there's so many like little intricacies for all the characters that they're all like perfect. They work together great. So I'm going Always Sunny. It like breaks my heart a little bit, but have to choose. I'm going Always Sunny.
I forgot the whole storyline about Mac having sex with the transsexual and like thinking it's not gay, and then trying to break up the gay marriage of her when she gets married to the other guy. It's so fucking funny, dude.
Is it post-op? Well,
So you had sex with a pre-op, and he had sex with a post-op. So that makes you gay, Mac. And he's no, you don't get it.
And Smokes are sitting here like, what the fuck?
I can't wait to just go home and watch it.
It's so fucking good. It's so good.
Oh, and I forget I think this was the serial episode. It was where they proved that God is real,
That's
right?
the trial,
Where-
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
I
the trial,
saw
right?
that on TikTok and I was like, wow, this show has to be great. Because people like use
science
that as, like,
is a liar sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. It's so fucking
Made everyone
good.
else on Earth look like a little bitch.
Dude.
I'm not gonna lie, that did convince me that like scientists are the devil and lie.
Well, you believe a bunch of people in a book that you've never actually met in real life.
Right.
And it's just so good. Klemmer.
So the Nightman Cometh episode of It's Always Sunny.
God, it's so
The
good.
last 5 minutes of that episode, I think, might be the greatest 5 minutes of any sitcom ever. Having said that, Seinfeld is the greatest sitcom of all time. You asked me to make this list. There's no question what to do. Seinfeld is there. Seinfeld is, like I said a number of times, it's like you guys said, it's I can't imagine life without it. It's Seinfeld. But It's Always Sunny is brilliant.
So it's 3-2 right now in favor of Seinfeld. Glenny Balls.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4-2.
4-2. Seinfeld.
I mean, I do really love Always Sunny. Once again, I think we're back here again. Is Always Sunny probably a funnier show? If you watch the whole shows, you maybe going to count your laughs. You're going to laugh more at Always Sunny, probably. But they could curse and get a little more racy. Seinfeld, I mean, as soon as you said today, what's the topic? Sitcoms.
Yeah.
You know what flashed in my head? That photo of all four of them, like jumping out. That's
Yeah.
the first that flashed in my head. It's Seinfeld. It's hard. It's impossible to top.
Dude, Rickety Cricket though. It's like,
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I mean, just one of the all-time great TV characters.
Yeah.
Not even comedy.
so
There
fucking
is in that season 8 of Curb where they redo it, and I think like George quits the project that they're working on, and Larry's like, "Well, I'll just play George. It's based on me anyways." He goes, "No. She's an icon. He's an icon. He's an icon. I'm an icon. You're nobody." So that even in itself, I'm still Always Sunny, but that thing where like those four together, and they're all like, it's called Seinfeld, but in my head they're all like equal part iconic actors for that show. So it's I don't know. This is a coin flip.
I mean, we just said 1,000 things about Always Sunny. We could say 1,000 things about Seinfeld.
Absolutely.
I mean, we even mentioned like fucking. I mean, like George's
Soup Nazi,
mom. George's
Yeah.
mom is so goddamn funny.
Just dad. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god. It's all Putty. We didn't mention Putty. Like, there's just so much. There's so much.
Latvian Orthodox.
shrinkage,
Streaks.
like, dude, so many like iconic moments in Seinfeld too. But man, there's just, and no, everyone from Seinfeld cast, like for the most part, they all like still maintain themselves as pretty famous with the exception of like Laugh Factory doesn't happen. Michael Richards may be up there still too, but they all kind of went on and still did really good things.
Didn't they bring him back and like make fun
It's
of him
like
in
you
Curb for that?
discovered
In Curb, yeah, it was very funny.
by accident.
Uncurbed, it was very funny the way they addressed it too.
Yeah.
Very good episode. But the winner of the bracket episode 123, best sitcom ever, is Seinfeld. I feel like it's very chalky, but I do think that we made the right choice going through these. I think we did as good as we could. But if we didn't get your sitcom mentioned or whatever, apologies. There was some we wanted to mention, like Grounded for Life. I love Grounded for Life.
Kenjac, can you grade our performance starting with Eddie? Go.
Eddie, I think you might be on the cut list.
I texted you that too.
You did. You gave me a complete prereq. You gave me a little disclaimer ahead of time. You're like, I don't know a lot about one of these. And that's totally fine. Totally fine. I appreciate you guys funding.
What happened to your crew? Like, why did everyone no show?
We had a tough day today, thanks to the Montana boys here and the film festival going on with you guys and pre-meet crap for that and Anus and other things.
Yeah, that's how I felt a few weeks ago. I did not know many children's sitcoms.
Yeah, a lot of the kid shows. Yeah. No, but I appreciate you guys filling in Chicago. All three plus Nicky Smokes for jumping in super
Prayers
late.
up for Mintzy.
Prayers up for Mintzy.
Yeah, please,
on the
I
phone.
hope he's
Parking lot
okay.
face down right now.
I hope that phone call went all right.
Yeah.
See you guys.
We'll see you guys next week with a new topic.